Hey guys, Savage Recovery back for another video. How you guys doing today? Came across some good little videos that I want to bring up because I've been saying lately that I was just having a conversation just this weekend with some people about how women abuse children more than men do. And with that being said, with that being said, these videos I feel show a pretty good amount of that being true. I really need to get better lighting. This lighting is definitely washing out my face too much. But today's video is about if women think women can be toxic. I believe that they can be, and I have some videos that we're gonna listen to, and I'd like to get some women to call in and give me their feeling on this. But this weekend I was having a discussion about how females themselves are. I was saying that it's usually the mom that does the most child abuse, and the woman that I was telling this to was trying to tell me that men do it or whatever. But regardless, I just did a video about a woman. That was doing bedtime stuff with her daughter and her boyfriend, and her daughter was 5 at the time, and she bribed her daughter with lollipops and chocolate. So I've in the last few months, I've done a bunch of videos about women that have been abusing children. A teacher, a woman in England that preyed on like a 13 or 14-year-old boy. But let's get into this video. Okay. Let's get into this video.
Your daddy got one job, one income, and he got to pay all these bills and do all this other shit. And everybody know that? Ain't no bitch that brought y'all no t-shirt, nothing. Yesterday was your brother's birthday. Who the fuck came over here and brought him anything? Not a fucking soul, but me and your daddy. Ain't not one Facebook post saying happy birthday to your brother. Your mama can't do it no more. Which one of his aunties, her fake ass friends, any of them motherfuckers said happy birthday to that little boy? Not a motherfucking soul. Everybody else know your mama did. Why the fuck they ain't been here? My point exactly. Y'all be disrespecting the only motherfucker that give a fuck about y'all.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I wouldn't be disrespecting the shit out of her if it was me, because this lady is mad disrespectful. Mad disrespectful.
Well, too, because I care about y'all. And I'm here every fucking day, and I don't have to be here. My life is good. I do what the fuck I want to do. So y'all need to get a good reality check.
I think that she needs to get a reality check. At the end of the day, this lady is angry, and she obviously has to be with this dude, because if she didn't need to be and didn't want to be, she wouldn't be there. And this was posted January 24th of 2021. So this was posted yesterday.
My grandma. Because she could have came and got y'all the day that her daughter passed away. Don't be fucking using that as no crutch, throwing that shit in your daddy's face. I don't give a fuck what he talking about. That shit hurt. Every time he asks y'all to do something, you get mad and want to leave the house. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yeah, every time you get irritated, you want to go around the corner, you call your grandma, you want to stay over there for days. But guess what? She could have packed your shit up and took you over there so you can live with her. She could come get you right now. My mama didn't want me. My grandma took me. That's usually how I go. My daddy mama took me. And I've been with her since I've been 2 days old. But ain't nobody here, I just spent $300. I ain't even bought my own motherfucking kids no school clothes. The fucking disrespect. Y'all got to get up and go to work every motherfucking day to take care of y'all. Do y'all know if another nigga baby mama or wife would have dropped dead that y'all would be living everywhere because a nigga don't give a fuck? Y'all daddy ain't got to have y'all here because he y'all daddy. What y'all thought? Because he y'all daddy, he gotta take care of y'all.
Like this lady is just.
Stay back and die. That's what he gotta do.
This lady's just toxic.
Where's your side daddy at? Who the fuck knows? Don't nobody got to take care of nobody's kids because they their kids. I don't got to take care of none of my kids if I don't want to. Just because I have kids, that means absolutely nothing. The state will take you up. Glad. Y'all is so fucking disrespectful. Guess what? I don't like y'all. I don't like y'all. I don't want to talk to y'all. I don't want to deal with y'all. No, none of that. No more.
Yeah,
So
this is just toxic.
If leave at 8, I'm leaving at 8 too. You're going to have to find somebody to watch y'all, clean up this house, do every motherfucking thing else. Because guess what? I ain't doing shit. I'm going to come here, lay up with your daddy, and take my bitch ass home. That's what I'm going to do. And I'm not bullshitting. It's my last day being in this motherfucking house, hollering, screaming, cussing, fussing. When I could be at home yelling at my own fucking kids all day. I come over here to get away from the bullshit, and guess what? Every day I'm here is bullshit all fucking day with James fucking kids.
So if this was who thinks that this right here, this lady, this is her, like, this is her, like, this is a stepmom. Like, tell me how this is good for any of his kids.
Good. I'm tired of y'all. Y'all can have y'all nasty, pissy room to yourself. I'm not gonna tell y'all to clean it up. I'm not cleaning that pissy ass. I'm not doing shit. That ain't got nothing to do with me.
It's selfish as fuck.
Y'all want to be pissy and filthy animals sleeping on piss and all that? That's y'all business. Y'all want to go to school smelling like piss on everybody talking about y'all? That's y'all business. Baby James, you too, because you sleep in there, so your shit be smelling like piss. Y'all want y'all company, y'all cousins and all that coming over here calling y'all daddy a nasty motherfucker because of how this house look because of y'all? That's y'all business. Y'all want to go to school dusty and don't give a fuck how y'all look so everybody can be clowning on y'all. Y'all pissy, dusty kids.
You hear that, guys? She said dusty to these kids. Like, this isn't good.
Y'all business. I'm done trying to make y'all better than what the fuck y'all is. Your daddy gonna have to auto-correct y'all because I'm done with that shit. Y'all not finna stress me out and make me have a heart attack. I got a bad motherfucking heart. That's why the fuck I keep trying to tell y'all. Quit pushing me out of my element because when I get there, I'm there. Can't nobody calm me down. Y'all gonna have to call y'all daddy or call the police on me. Now my daughter done told y'all I do not fucking play. My niece done told y'all. This shit ain't
now she's threatening them.
I'm not your mama. I'm not your daddy. I'm not none of that. I will fight you niggas up in here. Y'all will really, literally hate my fucking guts because I'm not going nowhere. I'm your daddy bitch. I'm not obligated to take care of y'all. Do none of that. I'm not married to your daddy. None of that. I can leave your daddy right now and never come back again, and it don't mean shit to me because guess what? Another nigga will be in my life next month. But I fuck with your daddy and I love your daddy. I'm here for your daddy. And being that y'all with your daddy and y'all baggage with your daddy, I choose to take on the baggage because I love your daddy. This is a choice. This is not an obligation to me. Do you understand? Do y'all understand? Y'all think a person owe y'all something and don't nobody owe y'all nothing. Okay, your mama passed away. Okay, my daddy been dead for 20-some years.
Their mom just died just a couple.
No mama, because she wasn't there. She gave me away.
Like, their mom's only been dead literally a couple weeks. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, you're expecting kids to grieve as if they're full-grown adults. This boy right here, he's not very old. He's not old at all. You expect him to grieve like an adult?
When I was 2 days old. So what? Everybody loses a parent at some point. Y'all want to use that as y'all crush. Oh, my mom.
So that right there just goes to show you. So that's video 1. So we're gonna go over to video 2, and we're gonna show another video. Okay, that's not the video that I want to show. Do. Do. Okay, so here's the second video, guys. And this is another video of a female with her toxic behavior towards her kids.
Don't flatter yourself. Only cause your insecure ass got the nigga cheating on you, bitch, don't mean I want him, ho. I don't want shit to do with a nigga you fuck with, or you ever, your pussy mouth, or anything ever been on, bitch. I am your daughter, you slow, insecure, dumb, retarded ass, bitch. You slow, ho. You slow. Bitch, you slow. You slow. Bitch, you slow. Bitch, you slow. Bitch, you slow. Bitch, you slow. Ho, you insecure, you slow. You a fat ass. You are your fat ass definition.
All your friends, all your friends, suck my nigga dick.
Ain't nothing about this shit.
I heard her
You
want to suck
fat
my
ass
nigga dick.
bitch.
That suck.
You sad?
Yeah.
You sad? Nah, sad ass hoe. Don't close your door.
Keep your dick sucking hoes up out of my way.
So who? Name somebody that ever did something towards you.
Bring your
Name.
You the one talking.
Name. When
You the
have I
one
ever
saying.
fucked anybody that you ever fucked?
You the
When
one
have I
saying.
ever sucked a dick? When have I ever did anything? You
don't
said
know.
it first.
You said my niggas cheating on me.
And I put
So
it
you
on
know more
Facebook.
about my
Your
niggas than me.
bitch all is.
So
It's
how
in
you
the
know more
audience.
about my
It's
niggas
in the
than me?
audience.
Shit,
It's in
you,
the audience.
like I
It's
said,
obvious.
every hoe
It's
wanna
obvious.
suck every
It's
dick they
obvious.
see me
But not
suck.
me.
Damn
Not
hoe.
your daughter.
How they dick
Not
taste
your
so?
daughter.
Damn
Not
hoe.
your daughter.
How they dick
I don't
taste so?
know. I ain't sucking dick,
How they
bitch.
dick taste so? When me fail you a nut.
So explain to me how, in any way, that like, why would you be talking to your child like this? Like why would you be doing this? Like, this is clearly toxic. And to top it off, if you think your dude's cheating on you, then why would you not get rid of him? Like, why would you fight with, if you think your dude's cheating on you with your daughter, why would you argue with your daughter and just not get rid of the dude?
Dick to suck. When me fail you another dick to suck.
You sad.
Now you
You
and the
holding
nigga
on
saying.
to that.
You and the nigga
You
saying.
holding on
You
to
and the
that
nigga
one.
saying,
Even
dumb ass
posting
bitch.
everything
You and
on
the nigga
Facebook
saying.
so the world can see how your sad ass is.
When me fail you another dick to suck. I gotta find all you hoes dicks to suck.
So everybody from hustling
I gotta find all these
I
hoes.
see why
They
your ass
mammies-
ain't with
they
nowhere.
mammies, these hoes dicks to suck.
You sad.
So not only are both these videos that I just showed full of like very vulgar language, but assuming that this is her dude, all right, like so this is her dude that she's talking about. Doesn't she suck her dude's shit? So why would you be clowning your daughter about dick? Because you're mad that, quote unquote, she's sucking your dude's dick. See, like, that is just a illogical argument. Like, it's not, like, this is crazy.
They don't stop hustling flow dick.
I'm not playing.
I don't found you
I'm
hoes.
tired of your
They
sad
mammies.
ass.
These niggas
I'm
dicks to
tired of
suck.
you.
They ain't got no more
I'm tired
dicks
of
to
you.
suck off me.
This the only type of bitch. She blamed me for every fucking thing that happens to her. Every fucking relationship. Every all that. Do y'all hear this? How sad she is. This is why my mentality is so fucked up. Yeah, you wanna know?
Okay, so I've seen this video before. So, like, this is what I want to, like, the reason that I'm highlighting this is because the way that her mom is acting is obviously going to affect this woman. So with these toxic women doing toxic things to their kid, then they put these kids out into the public. Like, this mom right here is ruining this woman. So now when this woman goes out there to deal with us and date us, she's going to have fucked up behavior, and we have to suffer from this shit. Listen to how she says how her relationship with her mom is affecting her.
Why? Because we cause living at home with bitches like this. Yes, the world needs to know. Yes, the world needs to wake up. These black mothers out here raising with these pathetic ass mindsets. These black women out here fucking harming us. These black women out here fucking look at this mindset. I'm raised by a bitch with this type of mindset, and y'all wonder why these females out here the way they is. Y'all wonder, show them. Y'all wonder why anybody that's born between the ages of 1996 to the 2000s, y'all wonder why these little girls like this. Y'all wonder why these females like this. Y'all wonder. I'm 21 years old. That bitch been blocked.
She's clearly distraught. Like, she's clearly upstraught. Like, this is definitely taking a toll on her. Like, you can clearly see that this is gonna have long-term effects. She's 21. She's gonna need a lot of therapy.
Since I was 7 years old.
Since she was 7 years old.
Niggas, that shit been breaking around me since I was young.
So, with that being said, now here's another toxic behavior. Here's another toxic behavior. Now, this right here, this just goes to show you, like, these women know what they're doing.
A lot of people got something to say about the fact that I got 6 kids with 6 different men. So I'm just going to tell y'all why it is better to do it this way. If I had 6 kids with all the same dude, I get 34% of his income, which is only $680 a month. If I got 6 kids with 6 different dudes, I get 17% from each one of them, which is $340 a month from each one. $340 a month times 6 baby daddies is $2,040. So why don't you have 6 baby daddies?
So this girl has 6 kids. She doesn't look to be that old. She looks to be mid to late 20s, maybe 30, maybe hitting 30. This was published on January 24th also. And she has 6 kids, and she's telling other women to have 6 kids. So not only does she not realize that this is a bad mistake that she made, or 6 mistakes that she made. Listen, I'll say the first 2 aren't a mistake. We'll go with she made 4 bad decisions. All right, we'll give her a mulligan on 2 of them. But she, instead of realizing that she made a mistake and telling other women not to be like her, she's promoting her actually telling other women to be like her. Like, that's what's fucked up with these women. Okay, so I don't know if they're from Memphis or not, my dude. I couldn't tell you if they're from Memphis. All I can tell you is what you see in the video. Now, I see that there's not a lot, like, clearly no women have jumped into this panel, so we'll just have the dudes come up here that want to come up here. But so you got the white girl saying, get 6 baby dads. You got 2 black women treating their kids like shit. Like, it's just not even, it's just not like, it's just like, it's toxic. It's absolutely toxic. The screen's not frozen, but any one of you guys can come up here. Any one of you guys can come up here and get on this panel and tell me what you guys think from what you just seen. Like, clearly it's not, clearly something's not right. Like, I'm going to bring up an article. I did a video that I uploaded earlier, but I'm going to bring up an article of a I'll bring up an article that I was reading earlier. Okay, so that's porn, that's porn, that's porn. I'm looking for news. Okay, so this is from the Sun. Okay, so let me find this article that I found earlier. For some reason, Google is not finding this article that I found earlier. Okay, so here. What's good, everybody? What's good, everybody? So I'm gonna bring up my video from earlier so you guys can. I can't find an article, and I don't want to sit here with dead air. So I'm just gonna play the video that I uploaded earlier, so you guys can hear this article. But this mom is horrible. Okay, so but we're gonna get into this, and this is exactly what happens. I've made comments about women abuse children more than men, like the mom does. The mother abuses children at a much higher rate than the father does in America. Here's another example. A mother bribed her 5-year-old daughter with chocolate and lollies to take part in a threesome with her and her boyfriend in a sick campaign of abuse. The woman, who cannot be identified, abused her daughter on 4 separate occasions between October 2017 and April 2018 in northern New Zealand. Now, I don't understand why the mother isn't, her identity is being shielded, because if anything, the child should be shielded. But I guess at the same time, if you show the mom, then people would figure out who the kid is. So, like, again, to protect the child, the mom gets protected, which is great. But Judge Duncan Harvey slammed her behavior. The court heard that the first attack happened when the woman and her boyfriend started discussing their sexual fantasies. When they began. So before we get into this, so this is a story. They're texting each other and they're talking back and forth, sexting. All right. Cool. We've all done that, haven't we? We've all texted our girl and, you know, made comments about, you know, how we're gonna make her bust it open or how we're gonna choke her or whatever it may be, you know. But I know for a fact that I've never said this. I've never even used this word in my phone in text messaging ever. So just explain to me what the thought process of this woman was as soon as she got this text message. Began referring to incestual relationships. The woman undressed her daughter and took photos with her phone as she violated her. So either this dude's dick game is off the charts, or this dude is like the devil. Like he has the smoothest, slickest tongue game ever with words. Like nowhere in my right mind would I ever expect someone to say incestuous relationships in a text message and then someone start taking pictures of their kids. Like that alone's a crime right there. She then sent the images to her boyfriend. The second attack happened when the couple were having sex on a bed near a couch where the child slept at the boyfriend's home. She picked up her daughter and undressed her and continued having sex with her partner as she violated the youngster. The judge, Harvey, noted that the girl tried to stop but was assured by her mother that everything was okay. The girl walked in on her mother and boyfriend having fun time in another instance before the woman showed her how to perform an act on the man. The court heard that the mother promised to treat her daughter if she complied. In the last incident, the child was introduced to the use of a toy on her mom after she wandered into the room as a couple had fun time. You told her that she would be given chocolate and lollies if she obeyed. You introduced her. This is sick. Like, you demonstrated to her what you wanted her to do. The little girl left the room afterwards without saying anything. While the woman claimed she too had suffered trauma and abuse as a child, the judge found it difficult to understand how she could inflict the same upon her daughter. You yourself have suffered from abuse from a young age. Looking back, you most recognize how that made you feel, he asked. The woman pled guilty and showed remorse, but the judge pointed out that the abuse was premeditated and happened repeatedly. He accepted that the woman struggled with abandonment and was therefore prepared to do almost anything to avoid being left alone. Her sentence was reduced from 14 years to 9 years as a result, with a minimum of 4 years and 6 months. The boyfriend was sent to jail in December for his part in the abuse. So again, so with that being said, who thinks here that woman is going to end up doing close to the minimum? Who thinks that this woman's going to do close to the minimum of that sentence? Like, anyone that wants to come up here and discuss this, you can totally discuss this. Anyone that wants to discuss this, these are just things that I came across today. One woman telling other women you need 6 baby dads instead of 6 kids with one dad. You got another woman. You have another woman that's talking trash to her stepkids. You've got another woman that is accusing her daughter of having sex with her boyfriend, and then you have another woman that's abusing her own child to keep a man. I'm sure that if I was to Google and do some research, I could find many, many stories and many cases of women doing this stuff I can find many cases of women doing this to keep a man. Plenty of them. Well, clearly she wants multiple streams, but like I get women abusing the child support system, but what I'm saying is this woman pretty much made a video. I don't know if everyone's seen it, but this woman literally made a video of telling other women, you are dumb if you don't have 6 baby dads. Like, if you have 6 kids with one man, you stupid. I'm smart. I'm smart for having 6 kids with 6 men. Like, you dumb. Like, instead of telling other women, like, hey, I have 6 kids with 6 men, and 3 of them are deadbeats, or one of them's deadbeat, or one of them's in jail, or, I'm sure not all 6 dudes. I'm sure not all 6 dudes are father of the year. Like, I'm sure there's at least one mediocre dude out of 6 guys that's there. I'm sure there's one mediocre dude, and there's probably one dude that's a deadbeat. We'll just say out of 6 guys, we'll say 2 suck. Instead of saying, hey, I have 6 kids and 4 of my kids' dads take care of them, and the other 2 is there sometimes, and the other one's a deadbeat. Instead of saying that, the woman goes, you know what? You guys are dumb.
Hello?
That you guys. Hey, what's up, Black Pill?
What's up? I started noticing stuff like stuff they say about men is it's bullshit. And you see the women say the same stuff over and over again. The man ain't shit. The man ain't shit. But when you look at the women's behavior, you notice that they full of shit. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
That's basically all. I'm 17, so I already know. It's just sad. It's real sad.
So what brought you into the the red pill space? Since you're 17 and you don't have a whole lot of you don't have a whole lot of dating experience.
Women problems, basically. That's it.
So what woman problems what was the catalyst? What woman problems brought you in to the space?
I was antisocial. That's it. And then I started getting to Steph is Cold. I was watching them, and he's basically teaching men to focus on money, health, and women are not even an asset to a man. So,
well, women are assets if women have the right mindset. Women are an asset to men. I'm gonna tell you right now, when I have a woman in my life that's a decent woman, my life is much easier. But the issue of it is finding a woman with that mindset, or a non-toxic woman, is the issue. That's
that's gonna be very very hard, especially they copy the bullshit that they see on social media. The men and the women do this. And
listen, I totally agree. I'm 32, my dude. I'll be 32 in March. I know all about the fuckery.
I'm talking about as far as black culture, everybody's trying to do it. It's and if you know who King Von is, the rapper.
Yes.
You were saying fuck Tuka. Tuka was a 15-year-old child when he died. And there's a whole bunch of people saying they smoking on Tuka, smoking on King Von. It's degenerative, and they don't even know. It's sad.
Well, so I somewhat understand. I somewhat understand the gang life. I get their point of view, but it pretty much comes down from coming from single mother households and degenerate behavior being allowed. I was degenerate, and my family they weren't about it.
Right.
When your mom or your cousins or uncles or dad, whatever, is part of a gang, it makes it much harder for you not to associate that as bad behavior.
Yeah, I grew up in a 2-parent household. I'm a single child. My cousins, they literally, the culture raises them. They don't have a father. You know, that's it.
So
You know.
what's your 5-year plan since you're 17? What do you plan on doing?
Mm, occupational therapy. Plan
I
on
mean,
trying to get a
I mean, is your plan to just chase the bag, chase
money.
like
Yeah,
get your shit together and leave these women alone?
yeah. Ju-
Now,
I just feel like most of them aren't an asset, to be honest. Especially the way they act, and it's just crazy.
well, I live in east side of Cleveland. I live in Cleveland, Ohio, in the hood, and my son's mixed.
Mm.
I've lived in the hood pretty much my entire life, and if I didn't live in the hood, I lived in a trailer park, or you know, pretty
Oh
much
yeah.
low income areas my entire life for the most part. So even in white communities, you have the same degenerate behavior. It's just not
It's
as
not
bad.
amplified, or it's
Yeah,
not shown. Black people
yeah, it's
really
not as bad.
put their degeneracy on display. So
Yeah, like yeah, like the like the main like I'm not sure exactly how you came across me, but I be in a lot of black YouTubers spaces because right now all of the main people that are gaining traction in the manosphere movement are black. For one, like most of the relative people, Kevin Samuels,
hmm
O'Shea Duke Jackson, MTR, Jessica X. A lot of these people are black, so a lot of the manosphere content that's
yeah, I
being made.
found you through like Jessica X and all that, the black women divesting and all that, and I was trying to figure out like what's the problem, what's the issues and all that.
And one, my son's mixed, so regardless if I look white or if I'm white or whatever issues are plaguing the black community are going to be affecting my son. And as a father, it's my job to prepare my son. Hey, Mr. Bad Guy, you're totally allowed up here.
And I get what you're saying. You're talking about the how women have power in the actual court system and the family system, and I've seen that. And it's not just a black issue; it's a white issue. It's everybody, you know, and it's gonna be hard because you know there's so much racial tension, especially like you go ahead.
Go ahead.
It's so much racial tension, especially with like black people. Like they're told, you know, the same slavery rhetoric, and you know, I'm not gonna say the c word, but they be, you know, people be saying that shit, and I call them out on it, and you know,
You listen. The only word that I really don't like on my channel is the N word. Besides that, you can say whatever thing out that you want.
well,
What's up,
it,
Mister?
What up to the panel? What up, Savage Red? What up, Black Pill?
what's up?
Man, this is those videos you showed is terrible, man. I don't know what's going on with this new generation of people. Me, I'm 41. You know, I'm from the projects of Chicago. The gang life, I know about all that, but it's not the same the way it used to be at all. It's just not. It was boundaries. It was code to it. You know, kids wasn't involved in it. The stuff you see now is just
If you, did you
it's
see that
crazy, man.
where that 12-year-old rapper went to jail for shooting a baby or something like that, and they blamed it on him, and now he has to stay there until he's 19?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and like I
To
say,
be
man, it's sad. It's real sad because I know this life. You know what I'm saying, and I know it wasn't like this before. It's just it's no organization. It's none of that. And as far as those the women in those videos, I don't know, man. Single mothers is crazy. I
Well,
don't even have the real words for it, man. It's just it's
well,
sad, man.
to be honest with you, that 13-year-old rapper probably wasn't the shooter, but he probably ended up taking that charge because he'd only be locked up for 6 years.
And you know, and that type of stuff wasn't the type of stuff that used to go on. I understand that. You know, not no rap for taking a shorty's life, no, because that's gonna be on him forever. You don't do that to a youngster. You just don't. You know, men used to be men and understood. Look, this is a mistake that I made. I have to deal with that. I'm not gonna put this on this youngster and mess up his future, because that's what
Well,
that's doing.
there was a documentary about, I forget if it was the GDs or if it was the BDs, that was back in Chicago, back when the projects were still up before they destroyed them. That they ended up shooting. They were one of the guys was up in one of the rooms or something, and he shot, and he ended up hitting like someone that was affiliated, like sister or cousin. And they told him, if you don't pull through, then we expect you to go and admit that you shot her. And he went and admitted that he shot her, and
Exactly, and that's how it used to be. I'm like I said, I'm 41. I was, you know, I grew up in the projects in Chicago. I'm in Chicago right now, but I grew up in the projects, Stateway Gardens, right across the highway from White Sox Park. You know, and that was back before they tore them down. They tore them. I think the last building went down in like 2001. So, I mean, that's how it used to be. That's really how it used to be. You know, now they just like, you know, these older cats is sending these younger cats down the wrong road. I mean,
well,
it used to be wild and shit. You know, it used to be wild as hell. But at the same time, it's like when the shooting broke out, you know, it's like, look, they didn't start shooting until the kids got upstairs, until it's no women and children around, and then they handle their business. You know, it was like that, like for real.
yeah, there used to be, like, you used to not shoot up funerals. Like, you didn't, you let
None of
people.
that.
Yeah, there used
You
to
know,
be respect.
it used to be respect and order to it. Now it's no leadership, and everybody just doing what they want to do. It's fucked up, man.
I'm gonna
So
say something. Uh, if you know what Snapchat is,
Yes.
there was a guy my age, like he had 4 Glocks on like his lap with his phone, like shooting a bird, and literally posted it. And it was a black dude, 'cause that's why I was kind of like, they really are imitating this bullshit. They don't really know about that life. They just post guns just to do it.
no, they, you know,
Well, this is the issue. So I'm, like I said, I'll be 32. So when I was coming up, you didn't do stuff in the open. Like, you just didn't. Like, if you go back and if you were to go back and find my personal social media accounts, which they're not up anymore because I'm trying not to get doxxed because it's already a problem. But if you were to go back and look at my social media accounts back when I was in the street, you'll never see a picture of me smoking weed. You'll never see a picture of me holding a gun. You'll never see a picture of me with money. You'll never see me doing anything illegal or saying anything illegal on social media.
no, and see, you know, I'm from a time before social media. You know, and even then in the streets, we didn't flash. You know, it wasn't. You didn't do that because you understood where it can get you. Now,
Yeah,
you know, it's all about stunning in front and trying to look like something you really not really is. You know.
And the issue that's happening, I really do think, is a lot of this is coming down to the fact that, like, the issue that we're having now is that in America, 40% of all children that are born to single parents, white, black, and indifferent. Like 40%, almost half of the
Wait,
kids
I thought
today
that
are
was
born
the
to
white.
single parents.
I thought it was 4% of white children are born out of wedlock and 70% are for a black community.
Yeah, but 40% of all children, like
Oh,
40% of all children
as
in
a
the
whole.
country as a whole
Shit.
are being born to single parent households.
Yeah.
Almost 50%. So, like, with that being said, that there's a lot of this that's happening. A lot of this is going on with the kids, and the fact that 90% of all custody agreements go to the mom means that you're having more of these women, white or black or any color, that are toxic, that are having the kids. Like, if you go and look up the statistics of people that kill their children, it's women. Women kill their
Yeah.
children more than men do.
Yeah. Do. I mean,
And there was a video of this black dude and this black woman and this other black dude who was the biological father was trying to get custody, and the mother and the new boyfriend ended up killing the child. It was a little girl. That was
mm,
sad too.
yeah. That's terrible, man. I don't.
Like he was crying in the courtroom and shit. I was like, damn.
Well, that's the issue these days. Is a lot of the like. So, a little background with me. So, my dad's side of the family was linked up with the mob. My cousin Bobby got killed back in 2008 by the mob. They ended up trying to hit him, and the mob doesn't do shootings anymore. Like, you don't see the mob killing people like that. They do overdoses. So, like, they tried to get him in 2008, and they killed my other cousin, my female cousin, and then they got him like 6 months later. And that was in 2008, so I was like 18 or 19 at the time. So, like, I really wasn't that deep with that. Like, I was affiliated with my cousin, but I was supposed to officially move up on my birthday, and he died like a few months before my birthday. So I never really got to make that connection like that. So I was running with Bloods when I was out in the street, and like, like it just, things have changed. Like, the principles that my dad and that side of my family taught me are not in any way the principles that anyone out here is abiding by at all.
No, because it's no principles anymore. You know, it's no principles, and it's no leadership, no principles. It's none of that. You know, so you know, they
Like,
just
what you
out
mean, like they
doing
snitching?
whatever they want to do.
What do you mean, like they shooting people and they're snitching and putting it on somebody else? You mean like that?
So when I was growing up, the principles that were taught to me by my dad's side of the family was like, women and children are never a target.
Never.
You don't
Yeah,
do
right.
you don't do stuff in front of women and children. You don't let your woman know what you're doing. You never let
Nope.
your left hand know what your right hand's doing. You never take this to family or people outside of the problem. So if you're living by the sword, you're dying by the sword. You're not hitting people that are, if you can't get to them, you don't start targeting their family. It's only them.
Right.
If you get caught, you shut your mouth. You do your time. You don't bring anyone else into your bullshit. And people aren't they're just not doing that anymore. And you've got these single parent households that are bringing up these boys to be emotional.
Can
Yeah.
I ask you a question? Can't they know if you like if you told or if you cooperated? I've seen like on TV where they find out a dude has cooperated and they have to move him out of a cell into another area.
Yes. When you get locked up, it doesn't really happen so much in county jail. Like, if you snitch, they can find out in county, but in prison they check your paperwork. So like, there's a lot of places that when you get onto a compound, you have a certain amount of time to where you have to provide your paperwork to who you're reporting to, and if your paperwork's fucked up, they'll get you off the compound.
Man.
So if you're snitched, if you targeted kids, if you're in there for a sex crime, there's certain things that you can't do, and if that's on your paperwork, they're taking you off the compound. They're gonna beat the fuck out of you or cut you up and make sure that you get moved.
Oh damn! I heard.
What's
I
up?
heard that they get killed.
What is going on, Mr. Lawrence?
Hey, shalom, Savage. Shalom, Mr. Bad Guy. Shalom, Black Pill. How you guys doing?
Hey, how you doing, man?
Good.
I'm doing
Not
good.
too bad.
Yeah, we good.
Just wanted to take a quick minute, Mr. Bad Guy. Shout out to you, brother. Much respect. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
You said
thank you, man.
you said 41 from Chicago, right?
Yep.
Yeah, man. 54, Bed-Stuy.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So it's all that hood stuff and everything you're talking about. I know what you're saying, brother. And you're not wrong, man. We had a code back in the day.
Yeah. We had a code.
Yeah, we had a straight up code, man. If you did anything to a little kid, man, male or female, that was your ass.
That was your ass.
Yeah, that was straight up your ass. There was no ifs, ands, or
Man.
buts. The only thing you had to decide was whether or not it was going to be the father, the mother, or the grandmother that kicks your ass, but somebody was going to get your ass. Because even back then, man, single mothers is nothing new, man. At least for where we grew up. You feel what I'm saying?
Not at all.
It might
Not at
not
all.
be. Yeah, it might not be as many as it is now, but we still had them. And even back then, they didn't act like this. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
But this is the difference, though. So, like, you're 52.
I know the difference. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I'm 54.
54. Okay, so you're 54. So, like, the single moms you had back then still had the silent generation around.
That's
now
correct.
you had feminism really started to hit hard, third wave, when you were growing up.
Oh, I came after, actually. I mean, when I was growing up, the second phase had hit when I was younger. By the time I got to my middle age, it was coming down off of the second wave, going into the third wave, which kicked off in the 90s, because I was born in the 60s.
My bad. I thought third wave feminism was in the 60s and 70s. My bad.
No. First wave feminism was 1800s. Second wave feminism was the 70s, and third wave feminism kicked off. I would say worst case scenario at earliest 89, and it really ran straight to hell in the 90s when it really started to take off.
Yeah, and we seeing the result of it now. It's just it ain't got out of control.
That's why, you know, I sit here sometimes because I'm in a very unique position. With the exception of the first one, I've literally watched from childhood until now each phase thereafter, and whatever's coming next, because I'm pretty sure there's some next level bullshit coming. I'm sure.
For sure.
But going back to Mr. Bad Guy, man. Like I said, I heard what you said, man, and I just started flashing back, man. Like I said, there was just certain things, man, regardless of how bad it was, we just did not allow to have. I mean, even the roughest, most thuggish motherfucker in the hood didn't allow certain shit, man, because it was just unbecoming. You know what I'm saying?
It was a respect thing. Like it's a code of the street, and it's about just respecting laws and policies of the street. And now there is no laws and policies anymore. Everybody running around renegade. Everybody renegade, and it's terrible.
Well, you know how we
terrible.
Well, you know how we used to say it. Everybody for self. That's what that is.
Yeah, that's what that is. But even though we said that, you know, it still was more family oriented, it still was about family.
Oh yeah, without doubt.
It's no family anymore. It's everybody is just an individual, you know, out to get theirs, not caring about anybody else. And you see it with these young mothers. You see it with this generation now. It's so easy to see, and it's disgusting, man. It's disgusting.
Yeah. Oh, it absolutely is. Because like I said, even with the most useless brother you'd have in the neighborhood, he still had a certain amount of pride when he brought his little man around. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he tightened up a little bit. It didn't matter where it was. You know what I'm saying? You could be at your homeboy's house. You could be hanging in the barbershop. You walked in with some pride. And regardless of whatever you might be doing in the street, your hope was always he would end up being better than that. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That he would grow up to not have to do what you doing. You feel me? And the same thing,
Yeah.
the same thing with the little sisters. You know what I'm saying? Every man, you know what I'm saying, regardless of how he ran the street, regardless of how grimy he was with the women he dealt with, when it came to his daughter, man, that was his princess. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he didn't put her on a
Yeah.
pedestal, but he made sure no dude was out there running game on her and, you know what I'm saying, and abusing her. And the same thing if in the neighborhood, if it's a little young buck running through the street, even if it ain't yours, man, you kept him out of trouble. You ain't let nobody do nothing to him.
Exactly.
Because at the end of the
Exactly.
day, the first thing that would come out of our mouth is like, yo, man, okay, look, I feel what you're saying, brother, but little man's only 7, man. He don't know no better. Leave him alone. Let him go about his business, man. Don't drag him into this shit. You know what I'm saying? We had a code, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you want to,
That-
you know what I'm saying? If you want to beat up a dude because you got beef with, you don't do it in front of his kids. You feel me?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You catch him by,
that's how it was.
yeah, you catch him by himself, or you know what I'm saying? You and your friends with his group of friends, but you ain't take that to his mama's house. You ain't do it in front of his kids. There was just a code, man. You feel me? And even when you got into a fight, man, when the fight was over, one or two things happened. You walked away, or you got up and you shook each other's hands, and you ended up becoming lifelong friends probably afterwards. But at the end of the day, there was still a code.
Yep.
Nowadays,
Yep.
they shooting your grandma's house up and your mom's house up.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I could say it wasn't funny, but yo, that's what it is, though. I mean, you got dudes who's willing to go out there, man, and just fire off a couple of shots. To hell with whether or not you got a 6-month-old sitting in the room. I mean, come on, man. Yo, man. That's not how we are, man. We never did nothing like that. Never.
And if you did do something like that, you was getting it. You was getting it from your boys, and then you're gonna get locked up. You know what I'm saying? You got to do that time. I mean,
you had a better chance if you just took yourself straight to the police than coming back to the neighborhood.
Yep.
Real is real cap. It was easier for you to turn yourself in, because if you came back to the hood, man, you was gonna get it, and there wasn't gonna be no 10 years to life. Your life was ended right there.
Yeah, because because it was looked at like you putting all this heat on to everybody else. You giving a reputation to everybody. You know, you making people like guilty by association.
Yep.
Like, no, we not about that. So you can't be about that. And if you are, like you said, you might as well turn yourself in, because it's gonna be a problem if you come back to where we at.
Yeah, because you drawing the heat on us on top. Yeah, well, you drawing the heat on top of us too. Yeah, without doubt. And like I said, man, you do your grimy stuff in the neighborhood, but you still kept it. You know what I'm saying, on the DL, and you didn't let nobody else come in. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, when I was growing up, look, man, we all stood on the corner, hanging out, doing dumb shit at one point in our lives. But like I said, you know what I'm saying, when an elder came down the street, you know what I'm saying, we locked that shit up, man. We stopped cursing. You know, she came by, we greeted her, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? How you doing? Yada, yada, yada. You boy staying out of trouble? Yes, ma'am. Blah, 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 blah. She go, we wait till she get down to the, past the block, and then we pick up where we left off, man. And there's just no respect. Yep. There's no respect left. None. I mean, you got kids cursing out grandmas, yo, and they only like 10 years old. I'm like, yo, man, Yo, I used to get frying pans to my face for that shit, man.
You couldn't do that.
You can't do that nowadays.
That's what I'm saying. I wish I would walk in there cursing out my grandma. What are you, crazy? Yo.
So here's two more women. Here's two more women that I found that, like I literally opened up my YouTube and this just popped up on it. So here's a woman named Catherine Knight. Do you guys remember who Catherine Knight is?
The name is
I'm not.
The name's familiar, but it's not clicking.
Okay, so Catherine, in February of 2000, a series of assaults on Prince, with the Knight stabbing him in the chest. Finally fed up, he kicked her out of the house. On the 29th of February, he stopped at the courthouse on his way to work and took out a restraining order in an attempt to keep her away from both himself and his children. That afternoon, Prince told his coworker that he did not come to work the next day. It would be because Knight had murdered him. Despite their pleas, that Prince not return home. He stated that he was afraid of night. What?
Wait. Is this the chick from Australia?
Correct. So this woman ended up.
Okay. So that's the cannibal.
Yeah. So no. It's even worse than that. She killed him.
Yeah, she killed him. She skinned him. She put his skin on meat hooks, cooked his head and his body parts, and she was planning on feeding it to his children.
And fed it to his children.
Like that. Yeah.
She fed it to his kids.
Yeah.
So that's one lady. This happened in 2000, so 20 years ago. So here's another woman named
20 years next month. Yeah.
And this is Gabrielle Fernandez.
Nah, that one I don't know. I don't know that one.
Or Pearl Fernandez. Pearl Fernandez killed her son. She killed her son, Gabriel. So let's see what this says in the murder. Victim. Okay. So her victim was her son, who was born on February 20th of 2005. Shortly after birth, Fernandez was put in custody of his great uncle on his. They continued to raise Fernandez for 4 years. In 2009, 4-year-old Gabriel moved in with his great-grandparents due to his grandfather's objection of the same-sex relationship. He lived with his grandparents until 2012 when the custody of him was given to his mother and her boyfriend. Despite concerns of his welfare expressed by the family throughout his 6-month stay in the household, Fernandez was abused and tortured. On May 22, 2013, Pearl and her boyfriend severely beat Gabriel, and he was transported to the hospital by emergency services. He was declared brain dead and taken. Yes, beaten to death. Was taken.
Well, they tortured him too.
They tortured and beat him to death. He was declared brain dead and taken off life support at Children's Hospital, Los Angeles, on May 24, 2013. His official autopsy declared his cause of death was blunt force trauma and neglect. At the time of his death, he was 4 foot 1 inch and weighed a total of 56 pounds. So they also found cat litter in his stomach because that's all they'd let him eat was the cat litter out of the cat box. So that's a woman that killed her son with her boyfriend, the mom, and then the other woman killed a dude and fed him to her kids. Like when dudes do shit, they don't do shit like that. Like you don't hear stories of dudes killing their kids with their girlfriend. And if you hear dudes crazy shit with like torture and stuff, it's not their kid. It's a random person and it's for like sexual pleasure. It's not torture to just kill their kid.
Man, I don't understand why. I mean, if you don't want the child, give them up for adoption. You know, I mean, do something like that. I just don't understand the mind frame of these women nowadays. It's
maternal instinct.
No, it's money. It's money. Because here's the thing. What Mr. Bad Guy said about giving a child up for adoption, et cetera, and so on. Yes, that's a logical course of action. But the vast majority of women maintain the children, whether they like them or not, because there's benefits attached, whether it be Section 8, whether it be food stamps or whatever have you may. There's something for them to benefit off of it. That's why they keep them. No other reason. No more, no less.
And I get that. But at the same time, it's like, is it really worth it though? I mean, where's your soul at?
But that's the point. They don't have any. You're talking about dealing with the most narcissistic creature in the existence of history, from day one of history, regardless of what philosophy or religion you believe in. One thing is a fact: they are the first narcissists to ever exist. It is their nature.
So here's another woman. Andrea Yates. At the time of the murders, the Yates family was living in Houston suburbs, Clear Lake City. She continued under Dr. Someone's care until June 2021. And Rusty left for work, leaving her alone to watch children against the doctor's instructions to supervise her around the clock. His mother, Dora Yates, had been scheduled by Rusty to arrive an hour later to take over for Andrea. In the space of that hour, Andrea drowned all 5 children. Andrea started with John, Paul, Luke, and laid them in her bed. Then she drowned Mary, whom was left floating in the tub. Noah came in and asked what was wrong with Mary. He then ran, but he soon caught and drowned him. She left him floating in the tub and laid Mary in John's arms in the bed. She then called the police, repeatedly saying she needed an officer, but would not say why. She then called Rusty and told him to come home right away. So this woman killed all 5 kids. So then we go down here. Woman kills herself. I just typed in woman kills her 5 kids. The next thing is woman kills herself and her 5 kids and her husband. West Virginia woman only allowed him to be home on weekends. He brutally shot and killed her 3 children. Okay, so a West Virginia woman is an apparent fit over her husband's work schedule, which only allowed him to be home on weekends. Reportedly shot and killed her 3 children, 2 stepchildren, and herself, torching and burning down the family house before she committed suicide. The remains of 25-year-old Myers and the kids, ranged from the ages of 1 to 7, were found in and around the charred house. All because the dude's work schedule. Myers left a suicide note, which was signed with her initials and a bloody fingerprint. This is no one's fault but my own. My demons went over me. Sorry, I wasn't sure. I wasn't strong enough. She also reported left a written confession and a will for him to find. Yeah.
So she wasn't strong enough to take care of children, and I mean, you got a husband that's taking care of you and your children, and you're not strong enough for that. Like, what is going on with these women nowadays? This is terrible, man.
They're not emotionally strong enough to pick which food to eat. So what do you expect?
I don't think yeah, I mean, they're not emotionally strong. That's obvious, but it's also the same thing we've talked about time and time again. Like, at the end of the day, you're talking about a creature that has no desire to do anything beneficial for anyone else other than the self. And if whatever it's that's not even self-preservation. That's not even self-preservation. Not even close. Not even close.
No, that's not, because I mean, you got a husband that's taking care of you. You should be all right.
Yeah, self-preservation is more along the lines of you being physically threatened that your life is about to be extinguished, that you do whatever you can for that not to happen. That's not the case we're talking about.
They care about themselves.
Yeah, that's not the So
okay,
so you know, you're talking. I'm sorry, Savage. Go ahead.
I don't know if you guys have seen these things, but I typed in "mom tortures her kids." So on June 25th of 2019, mom abused her children and boiled puppies to death. A New Mexico woman is facing charges. She beat and tortured her children and forced them to watch her puppies. The next woman is so this woman right here is she tortured and murdered 2 of her 6 kids. This woman, age 16, was held captive and subject to increasing levels of child abuse and torture committed over a period of almost 3 months. Mom tortured children and forced them to watch her kill. That's the New Mexican lady. Cult mom tortured with her son's head in a bag. Yeah, so like there's all these women are just killing kids, and I don't. You ever saw this stuff in the news? I've never seen any of this stuff in the news.
Well, you're not going to, because it goes against the narrative. But I've said it before. I'll say it again. 71% of children killed by one parent are killed by the mother. Out of that 71%, 60% of those victims are boys. That sums it up.
That sounds like hatred towards men. Yeah,
It is.
that's what it sounds like.
Well, it absolutely is. Well, look, Mr. Bad Guy, you and I, like I said, the generation we come from, you know what I'm about to say is true because I know you've heard it, and I'm pretty sure everybody else has heard it too. Look, a woman hooks up with a dude, she falls in love with him. Instead of trying to be patient and wait for the dude to decide to be with her, what does she do? She tries to trap him by getting pregnant. She gets pregnant. The dude don't stick around. Now she's stuck with looking at the representation in this boy of the man who decided she wasn't worthy. So what is she gonna do? She's gonna take it out on the boy.
Yeah.
Now tell me anything I said didn't sound familiar to anybody.
Oh yeah,
Michigan-
that's
That
definitely
kind of
familiar.
very.
Michigan mother sentenced for murder, torturing of a 4-year-old. Doomsday mom kills kids were tortured and wrapped in plastic. The mother reportedly believed her kids had turned into zombies, and it was her duty to get rid of them get rid of the world of them. That's in 2000. That's 2020, June 26, 2020. April 19th, a couple tortured 12 of their kids.
Well, I'm gonna let you know there's more than that going on because, like I said, they're making. Look, everybody was trapped inside. See, here's the thing. Sometimes a lot of kids get a lot of grace and a lot of leeway and safety because they get to leave the house for a couple of hours to at least go to school. But what you had this past year in 2020, these kids were literally trapped in the house 24/7 with their victimizers. You feel what I'm saying? So that's that article you just read. I promise you, there's a hell of a lot more that hasn't been reported. I can guarantee you.
November 1st, 2019, this child was tortured. Mom charged with murdering, and a 2-year-old's death. So, like, these women are killing 2-year-olds, torturing 4-year-olds. Like,
savage, man. I got stories from you in the military, man, that would just putting babies in microwaves, skinning them alive. I mean, dude, they've been doing this a long time. They've been doing this forever. They've been doing it forever. And it's always the same thing, man. When they get caught or they get found out, they get slapped on the wrist when it comes to punishment because, people just can't believe women can do this. But here's my math. I don't give a damn how delicate you may be physically. You're still a human being. You still go through all the emotions and processes of anybody else. So if I can believe men can kill, I can believe women can kill. End of story.
Well, women are more emotional anyway.
This is true.
Women are, biologically more emotional than men.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And nowadays, the feminist movement has made women so masculine they don't know how to deal with their emotions.
Well, it's that, and it's a lot more, and again, it depends on your own philosophical bent. Like for myself, I'm a Hebrew Israelite. Okay, so my perspective is coming from the Torah. Okay, Adam and Eve, the whole 9 yards. Here's my math. The first person to introduce duplicity into reality was a woman. The first person who tried to exceed their station in life was a woman. The first person to use sex as a tool for manipulation was a woman. Okay, so that's why I'm saying, for me, in my mind, I don't put anything past them. I don't. I mean, imagine how the conversation went. Adam is created. He's in the garden. He's told not to touch that tree, and he doesn't. Then Eve comes along. She goes to the tree. She bites the apple. Then she walks over to Adam and offers him the apple. Adam knows full well that he's not supposed to touch that apple. Now think about this in a humorous way like I do. What is the only tool she had to force him to bite that apple?
Yeah, sex.
If you don't do this, you don't get no nang.
Yeah.
And so he bit the apple. And then when they busted, if you read scripture, what's the first thing she says? She blames it on somebody else. The serpent beguiled me. No consequences, no acceptance of responsibility at all in any capacity. This is the nature of the beast. That's why I've said time and time again, I have more respect for a beast of burden than I ever will for a woman. Period.
Well,
I can at least profit from a beast of burden. I mean, seriously.
Well, I'll be honest with you, I don't think women do anything righteously. I don't think women do anything righteously.
They're not.
But-
They're not capable, because you have to understand. Look, even Paul said, "Men, love your wives. Wives, respect your husband." Notice he didn't tell them to love. There's a reason for that. Because in order to be able to love, what is one of the primary foundations to be able to love? You have to be able to know how to sacrifice. Men sacrifice every damn day. Women do not. No, they think they do, but they do not.
Yeah, that hits it on the head right there.
So like that's like the reason that I'm doing this. Like the reason I'm doing this stream is because, one, obviously I do a lot of stuff on this channel about child abuse, but like this transcends race. Like the issue, I honestly believe that the issue is more of a gender issue than it is a race issue.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
I honestly think that a lot of the narrative that's painted, like women are the ones that really push the racism. They're really the one, like you have pro-blacks to bring up slavery, and you have women that bring up slavery. Those are the two people that usually bring up slavery the most, and usually the pro-blacks get it from women. Like it was taught to them by their mom, it was taught to them by whatever girl they were dating. Like most of the time, these dudes talk and act like women. And even when you look at colorism, like they come up like, so this is a great example. So you have women that will come on here and talk about colorism, and they'll say, "Oh, well, you know."
But they be colorist as hell too.
Yeah, they'll say, "Well, you know, we're told that our natural features are ugly because we're not a European standard of beauty." But like no one tells you that. Like
Nobody.
just because some white bitch on a magazine doesn't mean that you're ugly. Like there's not a dude on a magazine that looks like me. I don't take it as like dude has hair. Oh shit, they're being hairy.
But it's not even that. Throughout the history of this planet, the women that have been most desired to be intimate with were black women. It didn't change. It didn't change until they started buying into all this propaganda about feminism, and they started taking on a masculine frame. Up until, because now they're the most undesirable. But prior to all that nonsense, they were some of the most desirable people. They might not have married them, they might not have brought them home, but everybody desired them. That's fact.
But what makes me laugh though is like they talk about how like Jessica did a video earlier about how this chick was saying that she liked mixed dudes and she liked white dudes, and like the lighter you are, the better, the closer to white you are, the more accepted white people accept you. Listen, in 2020, white people aren't accepting mixed people because they're light. That's like I'll have these same broads say, "Oh, well, you know, the one drop rule is huge and prevalent in America," but then these same chicks, I'm like, "Well, my fourth great grandmother was half black, so that makes me black." They'll tell me I'm confused.
Well, see, here's the issue. What they're trying to do, what's going on is they're dealing with their own internal issues, and this is both male and female in the black community. They're dealing with their own internal issues because what they're trying to do is they're trying to transplant the theory of house nigger versus field nigger onto society as a whole, because that's always been something that's run rampant through our community. You know, if you light skinned, you was the one who got to be in the house because you look closest to what the master was willing to look at on a daily basis, and the dark skinned ones were left in the field. That's house nigger versus field nigger. They're just trying to transfer it onto a broader, a national level instead of it being what it is. It's an internal issue that we ourselves have to deal with. But instead of facing it and dealing with it, we're trying to place it off on other people and expand the narrative to make ourselves feel good, and it's stupid.
Damn, you was
So,
blunt
like
with
this,
that.
I'm sorry, what?
You was blunt with it. Straightforward.
yeah.
Look, man, I'll be right back.
So like this is the thing for me. I love black women. I love black women. I love Hispanic women. There is not any type of woman that I'm not attracted to. Women are magical creatures, all for different reasons. Like each race has like things that make that race attractive. But the issue that I like, so after I had my son, like there was literally a thought because I didn't have any kids. I didn't think I could have any kids. What's up, Dave Jones? I didn't think I could have kids. So when I got my son's mom pregnant, like it was a surprise. Like it wasn't something that was planned. Like I had been putting my penis recklessly in everything I had ever met my entire life and never had a late pregnancy, never had I had an abortion, never had my periods late, like didn't have any type of scares ever. When she got pregnant, after she got pregnant and we were no longer together, I wasn't even sure. Like I honestly thought about only dating black women because I didn't want to make more children and my son be mixed, and then any kid I had after that wasn't. But like if I was gonna cut off white girls because I didn't want to have a white kid, and then my son feels some kind of way. Like the one thing that turned me off the most about hanging out and dating black women is whenever I'm in public with black women. Black dudes mean mug the fuck out of me for one, constantly. Mad disrespectful all the time. Like I'm constantly in some bullshit with it. Two, anytime I'm around their family likes to make white jokes. Or like when other black folks are talking to her and they start bringing up issues.
It's because it's a woman.
I know what it is. But at the end of the day, like now how much like if I have a black friend, all right, and we're hanging out, and he starts talking about the white man, like, do you know how tired it is to have to hear about the white man constantly?
Yeah, and see, that type of thing was something that we never did. We never did that. It was like we understood it was time and place for that. You don't do that. You know,
Wait, that
because
actually
I mean, I
happened?
got friends of all colors. We don't do that. You know,
Yeah.
I don't, like I said, I don't understand a new way of thinking. You know, that's not the way it was for me.
Yeah.
Well, this
So
is the,
and like I said, I got 13 years on you, so you know I'm tripping.
You got a fucked up friend.
Right.
I mean, you know I'm tripping because this is like I said, when depending on where you were, everybody had their little issues. There were some black men who didn't like seeing black women with white men, and you had the same in reverse, man. There were some sisters who like for me, for instance, my sister and my first wife. Oh, it was hell in a handbasket because my sister was just pro black all the way, and me being married to a white woman just was not making her day. And I had to break that down for her at the end of the day. She ain't the one stroking me off at night, so your fucking opinion don't matter. You know what I'm saying? So
Right,
you got to break it down. But the thing is that, and I get where Kyle's coming from with the kids because my two oldest daughters, like I said, my first wife was white, so they're mixed, and then my two youngest daughters is from my second marriage, and she's from Trinidad and Tobago. So, you can see when they're together how people treat them differently based on the shade of their skin color. But the only person I see doing that are black women. I haven't seen a black dude do that. I haven't seen a white person do it. I've only seen black women go into this whole colorism thing. And it's one of two things. They either put the light-skinned ones as being the ones they want to talk to and be around, or they make underhanded snide comments, you know what I'm saying, about my two younger ones who are darker, only to find out that all of them are sisters, and then they standing there looking like, batshit crazy, because you just fucked up, because now they all come whip your ass. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
it's like I said, when it comes to that colorism thing, especially among women, I've only seen other women do it. I've never seen a man do it. Black, white, Spanish, it makes no difference because for us, that doesn't matter to us. We're visual creatures. And from a visual perspective, it's not so much about your skin color as it is about the shape of your ass. I like those titties. damn, those lips can suck chrome. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Right,
I mean,
right.
that's who we are. That's why we have no problem dating anybody of any culture, because we don't do it on the skin. We do it on just straight up 100% attraction, shape of your body, lips, eyes, the whole 9 yards. Skin color is like literally at the bottom of the list, because you got to have a banging body. Your hair's got to be on point. You know what I'm saying? You got to look a certain way for whatever man it is that's going to be attracted to you. I mean, like I said, unless I'm by myself, but that's the way I see it.
No, you're not. I mean,
Shit, black girl said
like
I
you
was
said,
dark.
like you said, me and our visual creatures. Me, I done been with women of all ethnicity, all races.
Mhm.
So the color for me is like, if you look good, I like you. That's who I'm gonna want to be with. But I think women get it messed up is they don't understand that we also have preferences too.
Right.
And if you're not up to our preference, that's all it is. I mean, for me, if it don't matter the color, you give me the same girl or give me two twins, the identical twins, one of them dark, one of them light. I'm gonna choose the light one. I mean, the dark one rather. I'm gonna choose the dark one because that's my preference. I like darker
Yeah.
skinned women. That's I find them more attractive.
Right.
But
But a preference is not indicative of a prejudice. That's the point I'm trying to make.
exactly, and that's
They
the point
seem to
I'm making.
they seem to think that just because you have a preference, it means you're prejudiced. It's not the same thing. See, for me, in my mind, look, she's got to have an ass like a black woman, hips like a Spanish woman, tits like a white woman. Those are my criteria.
Well, like this is the thing. Like when I date a woman, like I'm an ass man. Titties, titties, like they're icing. Like you don't need to have it. It makes the package sweeter. But if you don't have them, as long as your ass is fat, I'm a happy man. If I can put my head on your ass and use it as a pillow, then we're good. But like at the end of the day, like when I see my son out in public, like whenever, like when okay, so like I live in Cleveland, so like Cleveland is somewhat mixed. All right, so when my son's in public with his mom, people will say stuff like, "Is that your son? Are you watching? Are you watching that baby?" Like everyone assumes, and it's usually women that assumes that is not her child. Like his mom and his sister and him all look like his mom. Like his mom, they all have the same shaped face. They all have the same eyes. The only difference between my son and his sister and his mom is what color he is. He's just pale. Like looks exactly the same. He doesn't have blue eyes. He doesn't have green eyes. Like he has brown eyes just like them. He has the same cheekbones, the same shape of the head. Dark hair, doesn't have blonde hair, doesn't have any sort of light hair, just light. His skin's light. People still think that that's not her kid. But when I take him in public anywhere, like if I leave the city of Cleveland and go where it's predominantly white, no white person stops me and asks me if that's my son. No one assumes that I'm babysitting this kid. Like no one questions me rolling around. It's only in the hood. It's only in the hood that people ask.
You know what that?
But it's the same
Savage,
thing because like I said, my first marriage with my first daughter, Chris, you know what I'm saying? I came home for the first time on military leave, and I'm in North Carolina and I'm visiting, and what do I get greeted with? Everybody's good to go. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, white people, no questions. As soon as I get to the house, man, I got two cousins, Tammy and Teresa. They're sitting out on the porch. I come up, I greet them. They look at me and go, "That's your daughter, Chris?" I said, "Yeah." And you know what they said to me? "You sure she's yours?" That's and like I said, the only people who ever come at me like that are black women.
And see, to me, that just sounds like it's like as far as with Savage. To me, that sounds like women just taking shots. They just taking shots at her. They know they just taking cheap shots at her. It could be jealousy, envy, but it's a cheap shot.
Yeah,
It's not like you know what I'm saying. That's what it sounds like to me.
No, it absolutely is, without doubt. But the underlying reason to that though is that you're trying to diminish someone else because of the color they are. because there's no other
Yeah.
reason to take that cheap shot.
But the reason I bring that up is because, like, so when I got my son's mom pregnant, all right, she's obviously black, and I'm obviously not. I'm not black. So there are going to be questions when my son gets older that I'm going to need to know. Like, there are going to be things that I'm not going to know because I'm white. So I started doing research on how to be a father, black culture, crime statistics, like any statistic that had to do with black people in any way. So if there was ever a question that he asked me, that I could give him the best answer that I could give him, because as a father, that is my job. So I'm in black spaces on YouTube because whatever's going on with black folks is going to affect my son, because my son is going to be in the middle either way.
Right.
So when I bring it up that, like, no, I'm not just some white guy that's in here doing dumb shit. I'm in here because my son's mixed, and he's going to go into the world, and he's going to be viewed as black by black people or white by black people, or he's going to be viewed either way. So whatever issue's going on, I need to know about it, and I need to help to make it better for my son, because that's what a father does. I get told by these same women that are in here talking about, like, I have swirlers that tell me that I'm a bottom shelf Brad, but then I'm trying to clout chase with my kid, and colorism's a real thing. But the only people that do colorist shit in my life are women to my son's mom. It's not white people. It's not white people that say anything to me about having a son that's not my kid not being white. It's only black people that are saying shit to my son's mom. Like, I've been in a store with her, and she's been 3 aisles over, and I've heard people ask her if that's her kid, and they don't see me. And like, the issue of it being like that is, it's just a lot of this race stuff is really, it's more harped on by black folks from what I see. Like, my sister adopted 4 kids. She couldn't have kids. She adopted 4. The oldest one is mixed, but if you looked at her, you couldn't tell that she's mixed. She's of a darker hue. And then her 3 siblings are all white. And my sister adopted all 4 of the kids. And the younger kids, so, like, their dad was racist. Her white mom started dating racist dudes because they were on drugs, and the guys she was dating were on meth. So, like, all that racial meth thing was going on. So this little girl was getting it from her mom, was getting it from the boyfriends, and then getting it from her younger siblings. So out of all the kids, like, my favorite personally is the oldest one, who's mixed, because she got a racial element from her own family for no reason. But, like, most of the people in America that adopt black children are white people. Like, there keeps being this idea of the white man and the racial epithet of white people, but it's not really white people. It's like when I was talking about dating black women and having to hear from their brother or their cousins or people about the white man. If I'm and you go to the same grocery store every day, how am I the white man? Like, when I go down to the store to go to Walmart, there, you guys can look it up. The Steelyard Walmart in Cleveland, Ohio is the ranked #1 worst Walmart in the United States. We both go there and shop. My black kid's mom and I, we both shop in the same place, even though we don't live together. How am I the white man?
Because
it's easy to blame somebody and then fix the problem.
And because at the end of the day, I'm just going with them. Their theory is always the same. You know, you have privilege.
Yeah,
I know it's bullshit. You know it's bullshit. Everybody else knows it's bullshit. Because I try to explain that to people, that you sit here and you talk about white people and privilege and that they're all racist, when you don't realize that more than 96% of white people are just as broke, poor, and trying to hustle as you. So there's no privilege here, man. You're conflagrating the top 1% to represent all white people, and you can't do that.
But that's what makes me laugh about the whole level up thing, is because that's the reason I'm not for the divestment, and I'm not against interracial dating. I'm against divesting, and I'm against swirling, because the people that are holding on to that ideology pretty much are saying black men aren't shit, white men are the shit. They make more money, but the median income in America is $50K, and if white people are the majority, that means the majority of white people are making $50K. So a majority of white people are average. Like we're getting this idea of being a savior, but we're not. Like
Exactly.
I'm called a bottom shelf Brad, but I make the median income. Like I literally am an average guy,
Well,
but I'm bottom shelf.
But don't feel bad. I'm a six figure man, and I'm still dusty. So
You know?
I don't take it personal, but the reason that I bring this stuff up is because the reason that, like, the whole point of my channel is for men to A, better themselves, and B, when it comes to changing the laws in child support, changing the laws in child custody, and getting more men to be able to be fathers in their kids' lives, and child abuse. Like, those things are the things that I care about. And the more that we have all of these, like, you go into these other channels and you have all the people underneath thinking that race is such a big issue, it's really going to divide, because angry black folks aren't going to get the laws changed. Angry white folks aren't going to get the laws changed. Like, we're not going to get any sort of gain when it comes to changing these laws and making us more equal as men under the law if we're fighting about stupid shit like colorism, which doesn't really even affect any of us. It's just the women that are crying about it that really are trying to get more options. And a lot of these dudes are falling into that same narrative.
Well, you got two problems. The first one is exactly what you said: the passing of the law thing and it benefiting color. It's a false argument. Just as much as the second point second word you used, equality. There's no such thing.
No.
And that's the problem. That's the cognitive dissonance that people have, because everybody wants to walk around screaming equality, equality, equality. There's no such thing as equality. It's a false narrative. It's a false narrative when it comes to gender. It's a false narrative when it comes to race. It's just a false narrative across the board. As men, we are not equal. It's absolutely universally impossible, because there are skills, techniques, knowledge, and abilities I will always have that Mr. Bad Guy doesn't have. And Mr. Bad Guy will always have a whole list of stuff that he can do that makes me unequal to him. It's just the way it is, man. There's no such thing. And when you try to force people to fall into a box of equality, you're doing more damage than anything else. And you get people who grow up with this idea that they can do anything anybody else can do, and it's not true. It's just not true. And like I said, it doesn't make a difference if you're talking about race. It doesn't make a difference if you're talking about age. It doesn't make a difference if you're talking about geographical location. It doesn't matter if you're talking about gender. There is no such thing as equality, because it's impossible. In order to have equality, that means every single person in existence has to be a clone of another, and even that's no guarantee. Because each clone would still have its own experience. So, I mean, it's just the dumbest argument I've ever heard.
In that argument, and that notion that it can be reality is really messing up reality.
Exactly.
It really is.
Exactly.
No one wants to accept being different or one being better than the other. That's what it is.
Well, look. Savage and I go back a ways. Okay, we go back a ways. Okay, there's a lot of stuff that he knows about me personally that we share outside of this space. Okay, and if what they were saying was true about white men being better choices and equality and all this good stuff, then for all intents and purposes, I should be living where he's at and he should be living where I'm at. Would that be a fair assessment, Savage?
Maybe because I wouldn't
Well,
like
well,
if,
well,
it was, if white,
no,
if
I'm
white
just making.
privilege was real.
Yeah, that's the point I'm trying to make. If white privilege was real, I'd be sitting where you
Right,
are, and you'd be sitting where I'm at. That's the point I'm trying to make. That's what I'm
right.
saying.
I
It's a
understand.
false
I understand that.
argument. It's
Hey,
absolutely a
One
false
thing,
argument.
Lawrence, I'm just
one
saying, if you want to
argument
trade,
that
like,
We've had that conversation before, but the point I'm making the point I'm making is that that's the falseness of the argument being made. Because if it was just a question of what you looked like and the privilege available, again, our roles
right.
would be reversed. That's why they're
They
arguing.
also
That's why their argument makes no sense. That's why it can't hold water.
they also talk about like the mentality. They say black men have a victim mentality, which I kind of see, which they need to train themselves out of that bullshit.
Well,
so
can I say something real quick?
yeah,
Black Bill, I'm not picking on you. I just want to clarify something real quick. Here, this is a point I've been making to a lot of people lately. Okay, we have to make a distinguishment between black men and niggers
Hmm.
because there is a difference. Okay, what you're talking about is not black men; those are niggers. We have to
uh,
call it for what it is. If you want to sit there and you want to pull the victim card, you can't get this because of white man. Yeah, that's nigger mentality.
It
Okay,
is.
black men get up and hustle. Black men get up and do the work. Black men get up and put the work in. That's what we
Uh,
do. Whether it's for ourselves, whether it's for the betterment of our children, our family, whatever it is, but we put in the work. Okay, only niggers sit around doing that.
And see, that's just part of being a man.
right.
Period.
Exactly,
That's just part of
exactly,
being a man. Period.
exactly.
You do your work. You do what you need to do for you, your family, and your loved ones. Period. That's a part of
Right.
just being a man.
Exactly.
You know
Exactly.
that victim narrative. That's I see that as just being lazy and
so
and
Exactly.
and
Right.
and not
there is
wanting to be a man.
You can't make excuses
there
for the
definitely
man.
is a victim mentality. Like there is a very prevalent victim mentality in the black community with certain demographics. For example, I'll give you a great example. So you have LeBron James that makes a buttload of money. Okay, you have celebrities that make money, move out of the hood, live in all white neighborhoods, and then get on TV and say the white man's trying to hold all of you other black people down. He's trying to hold us down, even though we all know LeBron James isn't being held back. But these celebrities, they play this narrative, and people, it keeps reaffirming their own idea. And a lot of the, like, don't get me wrong, there's a victim mentality in white people too. White people have a victim mentality, but it's not based off of race. It's based off of like excuses
Economics.
for economics, their parents, their boyfriend, their girlfriend, jobs. Like there are victim mentality in the white community as well, but it's not based off of race. Like, never in my life have I ever heard that someone say I can't get a job because the black man's taking it, or the Mexicans. Like, I have heard the Mexicans. I've heard illegals. I'll correct my statement. I have heard that. But
I've heard white people do it, but not in the capacity that black people do it. I've heard white people do it in the sense of arguing about the concept of affirmative action and that it being unfair. That's the only thing I've ever heard, and even that is very rare.
like,
And
But
but
I'm
at
a,
the same time,
but I'm a different generation, so I heard that back in the day, and you probably won't hear it now. So
but at the same time, affirmative action can be a little unfair because
it
you,
absolutely is.
it is because the person that's qualified may not get it because you have to have a
Exactly.
certain type of person in there to meet your quota, and
Exactly.
that's
well,
not cool.
I've never actually. I can't honestly say that I've ever not gotten a job because of affirmative action, but I do know that affirmative action doesn't benefit black men
It does
as
not.
much as it benefits just women in general.
And
Oh
that's and
yeah,
that's and that's and see
yeah.
that didn't happen until the creation of Title IX. Title IX, when Title IX was created, that's when that started to bleed over into the workplace. And now the affirmative action is about women, period.
Hmm.
Regardless of what kind of man you are, is irrelevant. It's about affirmative action for women. That's why California has those situations where they've passed rules and regulations that in order to be a corporation in their company, you have to have a certain number of women on your board of directors. Now, the board of directors controls a company. And you're telling me that regardless of whether or not she has the skill set that's required, I have to put her on my board? Nah, that's why companies are leaving.
Hmm.
Well, here's the other issue. So there is a victim culture within every community. I would say it might. I've not seen it as bad as I've seen it in the black community. Because even like, listen, I have friends that I work with or I've been around that are black, and something will happen, and they'll tell me about the white man. Like they don't like. It's not something that's brought up all the time, but it definitely slides out there. It definitely comes shooting from time to time. But with white
So,
people, it's more about like my parents or shit like that in my
yeah.
lifetime. But
It's generally economics. I didn't have a chance to go to school. I come from a rural area, so I didn't get a chance to take advantage of stuff in the city and get skill sets. It's generally with white people, it's generally an economic thing more than it is anything else. If they're going to pull the victim card, it's generally that, and that's my experience being a fraud investigator and a criminal investigation. In the criminal investigation division in the military and outside in the private sector. That's been my experience. And like I said, 9 times out of 10, whenever I did, and I didn't hear it often. Don't get me wrong. It's not like it happened every day. It was every blue moon. But when I did hear it, it was always based around affirmative action. Nothing more, nothing less. And again, I'm with Mr. Bad Guy. Affirmative action in and of itself is wrong across the board because you've only replaced one kind of prejudice for another. You isolated one group. You have one group that was isolated. You give them, and your idea of giving them a chance is by isolating another. That's still wrong. No matter, reverse racism is just as bad as regular racism. It doesn't make a difference to me.
Yep.
so, so back when Obama ran for president, like I was a liberal. Like I was totally for Biden becoming president.
Real quick, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, so like I was a liberal. I was always like, when I was a criminal, I literally was a Democrat. Like I thought like a liberal. I totally felt like a Democrat. I totally believed that there was a super racial problem in America at the time. It wasn't until I ended up getting sober, because when I got sober is when I started to have to take accountability for my actions. So when I was getting arrested and stuff, it wasn't because I was committing crimes. It was because I left at 3:00 in the morning. And if I would have left at 4:00, that cop would have been sitting at that street corner when I went driving by. If I would have done something different, I wouldn't have got caught. It wasn't the fact that I was doing something wrong. It was that I just, bad luck, shit like that. And then when I got sober, I had to go through and take accountability and see like all of my actions that I did led me to where I was at. And then I started becoming more to the right. And the one thing that I can say about my stepdad, so my stepdad, me and my real dad didn't have much of a relationship. But my stepdad had divorced his wife and was paying child support for his 2 sons with his ex-wife. And then he was also paying to support me and my sister while living with my mom. My stepdad worked 2 full-time jobs.
That's the one who hurt his back, right?
Correct. He worked 2 full-time jobs, and my mom was horrible with money. When he got his first surgery, we almost lost everything. We lived in a trailer. We almost lost the trailer. Like, we had to have churches pay our electric bill. My grandparents had to put propane. Like, we were poor as shit. The second surgery my dad needed, he needed to have his spine fused. And he would not get his spine fused because he didn't want to be out of work for so long. So that man literally worked 2 full-time jobs until he laid down one day and went to get up for work the next day, and he couldn't get up. His legs stopped working because his back had completely broken. And because of seeing my dad's sheer work ethic, that's why I work like I do now. Like, I'm a very, like, when I went on that 2-month hiatus of not really posting anything on YouTube, is because I literally was working all the time. And a lot of the problem is people don't have any work ethic anymore. Like, none. Like, I don't, like, me, myself, personally, like, the girl I'm dating, she asked me, like, what I like to do for fun. And I really didn't have an answer because since I got sober, I don't do anything. Like, I do photography. I bitch on the internet to a microphone and a camera about, like, whatever I want to bitch about. And then I troll people in the comments and I hang out with my kids. Like, those are that's what I do for fun. Maybe sometimes I might play a little Apex. I'll edit some photos and shit, but like I don't travel. I don't go play laser tag. I don't go on cruises. I don't go to the bar. I don't smoke weed. Yeah, I play Apex Legends.
Alright.
I understand that's that. I mean, I don't do much for fun either. It's just like work, come home, watch a game, maybe play a little Xbox, hop on YouTube, see what's going on, and that's about it. Go to sleep, go to work.
Man, I love being home, man. I do all my stuff from home, man. I do my gardening, I grow my food, I play with my guns, I play with my bow and arrows. I'm good. I'm gold. I don't need to go out and mess with the world, man.
Oh, I want to go to a gun range.
Yeah, I don't go to the gun range for one. Two, like, literally that's all I do is I hang out with my kids and I work. That's it. And obviously, like, I have 2 baby moms, so I have a problem with women from time to time, but
but that's a good life.
That's because you're not listening to me and going black pill. That's why.
I think with my little head a little too much.
You got to go black pill, man.
You know what, Savage? What you're doing is a good life, man. That's the way I see it. It's a good life.
I'm not upset about it.
And here's the reason why it's a good life. Because what's the most important thing a man could ever have? Peace of mind.
Children.
Yeah.
Peace of mind.
Yeah.
Peace of mind. That's the most important thing you could ever have as a man. Peace of mind.
Like myself personally, ever since Ash, stop, dude. Come on. Ever since I got sober, I've literally just been trying to grow my income more and more every year because I didn't get sober till I was a month before I turned 26. So, like, my sister was making 90 grand a year at like 26, 25, 27, 24, somewhere in there. Her mid 20s, she was making 90 grand a year. And she's married. She's got 4 adopted children. She's got a 5th child on the way. She's also, on top of that, a foster parent still. Like, I'm way behind people in my age group from the bullshit that I do. So I'm just trying to increase because I used to, like, listen, I have a PhD in fuckboyery. So I'm literally trying to get some sort of normal status. Like I'm trying to get close to where I should be as a 32-year-old man. So that's all I do. Like, that's why I have a YouTube channel, because really this is, if I can help one person, that's really that's really what matters. But if I can get to a point where I could be making an income from it, I'd love that. If I could be doing photography and making an income from it, I would. Like, I'm trying to grow other than having to physically do manual labor as an electrician for the rest of my life. That's why I invested in stocks. Like,
yeah,
I don't want,
that's where it's at.
You can definitely get
investing in stock. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want my kids to grow up like I grew up at all in any way.
But that's the nature of being a father. That's what you do. You try to make it better for the generation you created next.
Yep.
I mean, that's part of being a man and being a father, just right out the gate. Because what is the purpose of being a father then if you're not going to work towards that?
Yeah.
Like the way I look
Yeah.
the way that I look at being a father is I have to prepare my children for the day in which I'm not on this earth. So when I leave this earth, if my children are not prepared for the world, then I have failed as a father. So like that's literally what I do. Like if you guys were to ever meet my son is the most well-behaved boy you'll ever meet. He says please and thank you for everything he does. He picks up after himself. He's very polite. He does not act up because I'm on his ass like a motherfucker. Like I don't let him get away with nothing.
Again, that's your job. And
Yeah.
here's the secret to fatherhood. And I've said this before. 90% is just showing up.
Yeah.
That is the true secret to fatherhood. 90% is just showing up. The other 10% is the stuff you're talking about, Savage. Teaching him how to be prepared for the world. Teaching himself how to carry himself properly, not as a man and as a human being. How to keep his stuff in order and show respect. That's the 10%. 9% is just showing up. There are times, man, you could see anybody who's a father, man, when you walk in that door and that look that kid gives you when you finally home, man, there ain't even no words for it, bro. There's no words for it. I mean, just come
Listen,
running
bro.
straight at you, man. Daddy's home, yada yada yada. 90% is just being there, man.
Oh, dude, trust
Yeah.
me. Like my son, anytime he sees me, like when I go to my son's mom's house, she lives over in on the east side of Cleveland, like not downtown, but kind of downtown. So it's like she's definitely in a worse neighborhood than I live in. But she lives in an apartment building that only has 4 apartments, and it's only for single women. They only rent to women with children. So there's a door that locks. I have to knock on her window. As soon as I knock on that window, you can hear my son, Daddy! And then I can hear his little feet running down the hallway to open the door.
Mm-hmm.
And like, my son's at that stage in life where he wants to be just like me. So
Yep.
like, anytime that we get in the car, he's like, "Can I come to work with you? Can I work with you? Can we go to the farm?" Like, he just wants to do whatever it is that I'm doing.
That's good. Then you're doing it right.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
for
a
real,
good thing.
you're doing it right.
Yeah.
Like I said, man,
You
4
are.
daughters, man, 4 daughters, and that's what I got.
To me, I got two daughters, and you know, I had mine when I was young. So, you know, my youngest now would be 17 this year. So
my youngest,
they
my youngest just turned 18. Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, you know, those times I miss those times. But you know, they older now. They they becoming women now. So
But you know
yeah.
what's funny? But you know what's funny though, Mr. Bad Guy? Even though they're
But
women now, there's still these moments where I'll be sitting on the sofa and I'm watching TV, and they'll just come sit next to me. No reason.
that could
Just want to be next to me. And what you
yeah.
watching, Dad? Oh, I'm watching yada 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 yada. Oh, okay. You gonna stay here? Yeah, for a few minutes. And then they'll sit there for like 5-10 minutes. Next thing you know, their head is on my shoulder. So no matter how old they get, man, they're always gonna be 12. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
always gonna be
Yeah.
12. They're always gonna be 12. And like I said, it's a beautiful thing. You know, and I've said it before. I'll say it again. The best job I have ever had in my life is being a dad. There's nothing I've enjoyed more. Nothing. And I've enjoyed it quite a good many things. So, but,
Well,
but
like even with my so my son's mom, when I met her, she had a daughter that was a year and a half old. Her dad has been locked up since 2 months before she was born. So she's never got to meet her dad, and her dad's not going to be back until she's like 12 or 13 years old. And because of that, I'm like the only dad she knows. Like I'm the only male figure that's been in her life constantly her whole life. So like when she had a father, there was like a Father's Day thing for school last year. They had us start at like this one place, and we walked them down the street, and then walked them into into school, like I told her mom, like her mom talked to her dad and asked her dad if it was cool if I did that, so she had someone there. And like me and her dad have this understanding. I told him like, don't worry, like whatever dad shit she needs done, I'm gonna do it while you're locked up. And when you get out, you can take back over, just so she's not out here without a male figure. And like a lot of the people don't realize that like my whole like importance in life is kids. Like I honestly feel like kids are like the most important thing. Like I'm actually thinking about becoming a foster parent when it comes to like fostering like teenage kids with drug addictions, because there's a lot of males that are like 14, 15, 16, 17 years old that are in CPS that no one wants to really take them because they're males and they have drug addictions. So like I'm actually thinking about doing that because I was a drug addict and a criminal, and I know exactly how it is to curb that shit and to get out of it. You wouldn't know that from listening to my content about me hating on women, but or crying into a microphone once in a while.
Well, I don't.
Hey,
Well, no,
hey,
go ahead.
Savage, I say go for it,
Go ahead,
man.
Mr. Bad Guy. Yeah.
I say go for it, man. You know what I'm saying? If that's your passion, do that. Because like you said, as long as you can reach one, you doing your job in life. I mean, do it. You know.
Like my sister right now has a 16-year-old girl that was being abused that's staying with her, and we're trying to get her into staying with my sister. And my sister's friend adopted, I think it's 8 kids. I think she adopted 8 kids. In her household, they have like 10 kids. And all of the 8 kids she adopted, it's like 2 pairs of siblings. Like she has four pairs of siblings that are all from the ages of like 2 to like 10. So like all the people that I come in contact with are people trying to help kids. Like, and all these kids are getting helped are every color. Like there isn't any kids that are around me that I know of white people that aren't helping any color of kids. And the issue, like I really do think that this racial tension that's being put into the media and into the community is not helping anybody. Like,
No, it doesn't help.
That
It
little
doesn't
girl,
help at all.
that little girl that my oldest sister adopted, like when she first got put into CPS, they put her with a woman that was black, and that was because she was mixed. So they were like, this will be the best thing. Soon as, like, I'm not saying this about all black women, but I'm just saying the one fact I do know with this one instance, this black woman got this little girl and did not spend any money on her, did not let her shower, did not do her hair, like did absolutely nothing for this girl. Anytime that she would come over to my sister's house, because my sister ended up having her siblings, this little girl who was, I think, 11 at the time or 10 at the time, the first thing she'd ask my sister when she would go over to stay the weekend with her to see her siblings, can I take a bath? How many 10-year-old kids, the first thing they ask you to do is take a bath?
Nah, they don't do that, kids. So I mean, sometimes you gotta force kids to take a bath. So that's not common at all.
So that just goes to show you how little this woman was even letting this girl bathe.
Yeah, that's
Like,
terrible, man.
and as soon as that woman got because whenever you take foster kids in, you obviously get paid they give you money to take care of those kids while you have them. This woman, as soon as she got this little girl, she started going to school full time. She was working full time. That little girl literally sat in daycare every day, like all day long. Like she never really was at this lady's house. And this lady was, whenever you saw her daughter's hair was done. She was always in the nicest clothes. Like she literally just started taking care of her kid and pretty much abandoning this other kid. And you would think when you hear it's these women that talk about colorism, it's these women that talk about white women doing black men dirty. It's these women that talk about racism and colorism and all these things. But then in my own experience, a 10-year-old girl is getting done dirtier by the same people that make those comments. Like I guarantee you, if someone was to ask that woman about racism or colorism, she would go off and say that's all true. But didn't even help what the people, like a girl, the people that she's supposed to love and take care of and needs to uplift. Because who talks about uplifting black women the most? Other black women, that they're unprotected. But you have a 10-year-old girl that's not a woman yet that you're doing dirty. That's the whole reason that I really don't like the whole racial narrative about stuff, because when it comes down to it, the people that say the shit, they don't do the shit that they're saying is important. They just don't.
It's hypocritical. It's hypocritical, and the colorism. When it comes to that, honestly, I just see it like this: you're just not attractive enough. You know what I'm saying? It's like, maybe it's your attitude. They don't. The accountability is not there. It's just not there for a lot of women. I mean, for most women, it's not there. So they gotta. It's the victim narrative. It's the I have to say it's this, or because I can't hold myself accountable for my actions. So I have to put it somewhere else. And colorism is just it's an easy scapegoat.
But you know what's bad about that though? A lot of that is our fault. A lot of that is our fault as men, because we allowed them to continue the narrative. We put them in position. Yeah, here's the thing about women. Women cannot take power. It can only be given to them. And whether they want to accept that or not, that's facts. Women cannot get up and forcibly take power. It has to be given to them. And the only way that could have been done was with men giving it to them. That's why we enacted laws and regulations and all this other stuff. And that's why they're at where they're at now. So we can complain about them all we want to, but we also have to accept the fact that as men, as a whole, we contributed to that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we literally opened the door and let them in from the first wave, giving them the right to vote, to everything else that came afterwards. We the ones who passed those laws. We're the ones who put them on the books, from child support to no default divorces to Title IX and everything else. Those weren't women sitting in those places of power. That was men.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true, and you know what? To me, it seems like women don't really like the power that's being given to them. They really don't want it.
Well, they're in love with the idea of it. They're in love with the idea of it and the fact that it can be used to their benefit, but they do not want to accept the consequences and responsibility that goes with that title and position.
Yeah, exactly.
So, so like I said, at the end of the day, it is what it is. And like I said, we gotta take our hit for that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and we've been taking the hit for it. And it seems to be it's only going to continue.
Well, it's going to get worse. It has to. Because like I've told many people, there's nothing new under the sun, and these things must be. And we've seen it happen. It's been replicated more times than I care to explain, from Babylon to Egypt to Rome and everything before and in between. This has always happened, and this is just our turn. So it's like I said, it's only going to get worse, and it has to, because it's the only way to reset. It has to go all the way down. That's why a lot of brothers they crack me up because they've got this theory in their head that now the economy is being what it is. Women are going to be desperate and they're going to fall back in line and make themselves submissive again. You're a fool, because that's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. In every instance for self-correction to happen, it always involved invasion. Every single time.
So, this is the other thing about the colorist movement and the Sterling movement. Like all these movements, these are what makes me laugh. Pretty much any movement that comes with women, really. So, if as men we came together and told women that they had to like men with bald heads, how do you think that movement would go? Do you think that would gain traction with women
in today's society?
Yeah, do you think that they would see that as the same thing as color, the colorism argument?
No, they wouldn't.
Okay. If we were to make a movement about having little dicks, women had to love little dicks and they couldn't shame us with liking big dicks, do you think that?
No, it wouldn't happen.
No, of course not.
Okay. If there was a movement, if I tried to make a movement for women date me that had to accept the fact that I have two baby moms and that all women need to date men with baby moms, do you think that would get movement?
That you might have a small percentage who might co-sign it if you're white.
Okay, well that's fair, but still, point being is probably not. If
No,
women said,
I don't see that.
If women said I don't date people that have face tats and records, do you think we could make a movement to where women would have to accept that, and they'd be like, oh yeah, okay, so you're gonna accept that colorism's true, and we're gonna only date dark-skinned women, but we're also gonna date guys with face tats and criminal records?
Nah, that
no, they're not gonna go with that.
They wouldn't.
Nah,
They wouldn't.
Nah, they wouldn't do that one. Nah, women, man. I don't even know how to talk about them when it comes to that type of stuff, for real. Because I mean, it's like Lawrence said, man. They just narcissistic creatures, man. What can we do? I mean.
Well, each man's got to make his own judgment call on it. You know what I mean? Because like myself, I'm black pill. I don't talk to them. I don't interact with them. I don't, you know what I mean? Like I said, each man's got to find his own path in this, because as a group, even if we wanted to come together as a group to make a move, and it doesn't make a difference, black, white, Spanish, Asian, whatever, everybody in it together, it still wouldn't be enough, because the voting bloc and the percentage of people in this country are predominantly women. So,
yeah.
Okay, 1 second. 1 second. Let me address something. Hey, Just Mike. Okay, just so you know, I'm not saying that colorism doesn't exist. I'm just saying that it's not as evasive and prevalent as it's painted. 2, no, I am not taking your wife's video down. That's not going to happen. If you have a problem, then come to Cleveland and make me take it down. If you are not going to come to Cleveland and make me take it down, it's going to stay up. Tell your wife that you got with when she was underage and you're old as dirt. If she doesn't want people to make videos about her, tell her not to troll people in their comments. I put the video up under fair use. All right? It's fair use. Control your woman. Get out of my comment section asking me and begging me to take it down, because I'm not. You've already explicitly said that you were going to whip my ass. So I don't know if you know this, but you're not going to tell me you're going to whip my ass and then ask me to do you a favor. So either be a grown-ass man and whoop my ass, or shut the fuck up. All right.
So hold on. Not to get off topic, but
what the hell are you talking about?
Hold on. So you put a video up of some dude's woman, I guess she was acting dumb, and he coming at you about it?
Correct.
What video?
So this dude needs to control his woman.
I don't even know what
like
you.
you
I don't
said,
even,
I
I don't
don't know what
even.
you're talking about either. But just
Okay, so
hearing that
here
right there.
I'll fill you guys in. So go to the old YouTube, and we're gonna pull up this video so everyone can see it, so that
Well, see, this is where
now
it get. Well, see, this is where it gets bad because the fact that he came in and did that only propagates the very thing he didn't want to happen. But
correct,
Right.
because I let my nuts hang low, real low, the flow. So let's go to this live stream.
it was a live stream.
Yeah, it was a live stream. So here we go. So this right here.
What is that?
This is his wife. This is his wife's video that I made about him. This is her in my comment section talking shit, calling me a bomb shelf Brad, telling me I'm a drug addict. Right here is her dude. This is her 42-year-old husband right here. She was in the comment section telling me that I have baby moms and I'm bald and have face tats and like to shoot heroin and all this good stuff, and that I'm a bottom shelf Brad and she would never be seen in public with a dude like me or some shit, which I really don't care. But this right here is her basic ass dude who's 42 years old that is no better looking than I am. He's
Okay, so this the dude. I seen something on this. This the dude that he be skating and everything, like 40 something. He be skating. He a skateboard guy, something like that.
Wait, is that the guy who's in the comment section now?
correct. Just Mike is her husband, and he's been in my comment section telling me he's gonna whip my ass and drive out to Cleveland and whoop my ass because he's Irish and he likes to fight and blah 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 blah.
But whip your ass about what?
Right.
Me talking shit making a video and talking shit and trolling his wife in the comment section and about making a video about her. So
But isn't that
just
what she
know-
did to you?
correct.
Okay, so
But I have a
turnabout's
penis,
so turnabout's fair
Yeah.
play.
I have a penis, so he's upset about it. But I'm not taking your wife's video down, bro. If you would have came with me with some motherfucking respect, I might have taken it down. But as soon as you tell me that you're gonna whoop my ass, then that means you need to come whip my motherfucking ass, and then I'll take it down. But until then, no, it's gonna stay up. It's gonna stay up. It's that simple.
So the black woman I saw, that's his wife.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, she's supposed to be a divester.
Correct.
Swirl it right. Okay. Yeah. I seen something on that.
Okay.
I seen something on that. And you know what I tell women? You know, in order to divest, you have to invest. So what have you actually invested?
No woman invests anything.
Exactly. So you're not divesting anything.
Mike, listen, I don't care if you don't have baby moms. I don't care if you don't respect low-level dudes, low-life dudes, scumbags, heroin addicts. I don't care. I don't care about all that capping. You want to whip my ass and come whip my ass. Until then, shut the fuck up. I'm not taking the video down. Like, forget it. I'm not taking it down, bro. You need to go tell your wife to not post on my comment section. Do that. Go check your wife before you start trying to handle a grown man. I'm sorry, but your fight is in the wrong place. Turn around wherever your broad is and put your anger towards her.
I'm sorry,
Well,
just real quick. I'm sorry, just real quick. Who gives a pluck about black men denying colorism? Yeah, no black man up here denied colorism. As a matter of fact, I gave 2 examples of why and how it exists. So I don't know what you're talking about, Mike.
It's crazy.
And I'm pretty sure Mr. Bad Guy, when I was making my points, he agreed with them. So you got 2 black men up here.
Right.
Nobody's denying colorism
Right.
doesn't exist.
Bro, he's just on some bullshit, bro. You can call me a loser. You can say you don't like the channel. Then don't come in here.
This makes me wonder. I mean, how many other people have he went on their thing on their platform and asked them to take it down? Because
I don't know, but I'm not the one. I'm not the one. Not me.
I don't know. That's too much for me, man. That's too
Listen,
much for me.
I listen. I like
Dang.
being. I like getting locked up from time to time. I like to go do a little vacay. You know, don't pay
Three
no
square meals in
bills.
a cot.
3 square meals. Like those baby moms I got, they take care of my kids if I get locked up. So they good. So don't worry, bro. When you want the video down, just come out to Cleveland, hit me up.
What's
we'll meet up and I'll knock your motherfucking teeth in.
hey, what's Nate talking about 17 years old? What's that?
Oh, when he got with his wife, she was 17 years old and he was 37.
Yeah, so what's
So-
the big deal?
The big deal of it is he was in the comment section talking about being a low life, having baby moms, and I don't know how to date women or some dumb shit. That's why he got his wife at 17 years old or something. Like he brought it up as if it was like this magical thing that he did that made him a real man, that he got a wife that was 17 or some shit like that.
Oh,
So
I don't
Nate,
know. My
just-
my second wife, she was 18. I was 28. So that's, to me, that's
Yeah.
not a big deal. So
18 is not a big deal, but I don't think that any grown adult should be with anyone that's under the age of 18. Morally, I just don't think.
okay. You mean
Right.
from that perspective? Okay, yeah. I got you.
Yeah. Like I'll be honest with you. If a 35, 31, 29-year-old dude was fucking around with my 17-year-old daughter, not only would that dude be missing, but he would have a very long, painful existence until he was dead.
No. I get it. I get it from that perspective. I agree. I thought it was in reference to something else. So that's me. That's on me. I got it backwards.
Yeah, it's all good. It's not a big deal. I don't want to keep bitch. I don't want to keep talking about this dude because this dude's a clown.
Yeah.
Like he's a
Oh
clown.
no. I was just trying to understand what was going on. That's all that was.
But yeah, guys, just normal stuff. What's funny is while this live stream's been going on, I've actually lost 3 subscribers.
Well, that's okay. Well, that's,
I know.
What?
It just makes me laugh. Try and get to that 1,000 by May. By May would be 1 year. 1 year that I've been on.
Hmm.
But so I think, like, honestly, like I seriously see articles all the time about women abusing their kids and stuff, and like it's crazy.
Yeah, like I said, man, it just, the mind frame of women nowadays is just, it's out there.
well, I already gave the Department of Health statistics a little while ago, so that pretty much sums it up.
Yeah, that's,
So
it just makes you feel for the kids, for the generations to come, the way it's going. You know?
yeah.
Well, that's like I tell my son's mom all the time, when he hits 5, when he hits like 4 or 5 years old, he's coming to live with me. This year, my son's moving in with me, so he'll be under my domain.
As he should. I mean, he can't, I don't understand why women don't do that more often.
Well, that's the way it used
Just
to be.
because, and that's the way that's the way it used to be.
Yeah. The
Now
mother.
it-
Yeah, the mother only had the kid till like maybe 6 tops. And then after that, he would start spending more time with the father because, like Savage was saying earlier with his kids, and I was talking about with mine, we have to teach them how to navigate the world and how to move in it.
and women used to understand that. I don't they used to understand that. Now it's almost like a power trip for them.
It's what it is.
It's a control issue.
But again, that's been the nature of them since day one. Going back, like I said, depending on your belief system, going back to the Adam and Eve theory. What was the promise the serpent made to her? If you bite this apple, you will have knowledge, and you will be as great or greater than the Most High Himself. It was a power grab. That's the nature of who they are since day one. And like I told somebody before, it's not a good thing, it's not a bad thing, it's just a thing. That's just where we're at.
That's exactly why, like Patrice O'Neill says that women don't do anything righteously, and I totally agree with that.
Hmm.
Well, yeah, because I mean, they don't do anything unless it has some benefit for them. So
Hmm.
no,
Yeah,
that's
like
not righteous. That's not righteous at all.
I'll be honest with you. I'm super red pill. Like the relationships that I get into, the women that I date, they know about my YouTube channel and they know how I feel about my views on women and date and all that stuff. And it's always tension because I won't simp for them. But like if I didn't have kids, I would not entertain the idea of being married. Like the only reason that I'm willing to cut myself off at the knees like that is because I have kids. And having a stable wife and my kids seeing me with a stable woman and being committed benefits them. It doesn't directly benefit me.
But what did I tell you
Right.
earlier? That's the definition of love, sacrifice.
Yeah.
You're willing.
Well, I
You're
mean,
willing to. You're willing to sacrifice everything else to make sure he has that opportunity to have that.
yeah, that's love there.
Like that's the thing. Like I might be a bottom shelf Brad. I might have face tats and have a criminal history and used to love to shoot heroin in my penis. But I never got high. Like I had kids after I got sober. My kids have never seen me drunk. They've never seen me high on weed. They've never seen me intoxicated on anything. And that's the reason I'm still sober is because I refuse to become intoxicated when I have kids.
Well, like I said, every man's got to make his own choice. But for me, it's the black pill life, man. And I'm good and I'm happy with it. So I'm straight. I'm totally straight.
Yeah, me, I don't really deal with women. I don't really worry about them. It's all about going to work, coming home, going to work. That's me.
Look, man, even when I'm in the grocery store, man, if one of them at the register, I'll put my shit down and walk out and come back another day. I just don't interact at all.
Mm.
Hey, not to be fair, the girl that I'm seeing, is she's a great woman. Like legitimately, she's a great woman. Like for example, Saturday, I slept in. She got up before I did. She let me sleep in, and I woke up to eggs and bacon when I got up. Like I'm a simple dude. A hot meal, some viscosity, maybe a back rub once in a while. I'm good.
Well, that's how most of us are. So
Right. I was just gonna say that. That's how most of us are. We men are simple creatures.
yeah, and
We are.
that's the and that's the funny thing because they seem to act like we're asking the world of them, and we're not. If you're home all day, it's not disrespectful for me to expect the house to be clean when I come home. If I'm busting my ass making money so you can spend and do whatever it is you want, it's not outrageous for me to ask for a sandwich. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just mind-boggling. And what trips me out even more, and I can't speak for all women because I don't know, but just my experience, none of them can cook. Everything's
Yeah.
about everything's about eating out or ordering. Or I'm what? I have literally been able to date the vast majority of women because they are shocked that my house is clean because I guess they expect me to be a sloppy bachelor. That I can cook because I love cooking and I'm very good at it. it boggles their mind. And I'm like,
And
yeah,
that's it's sad that it boggles their mind though, because it's like, wow, this is something that you should know how to do anyway as a person. But for a woman to not, I mean, you eating out all the time, it's like, come on,
yeah. I mean, when I was
you know,
growing
like
up, man, they taught me. I got taught how to cook, how to sew, how to do laundry. And when I say laundry, like I said, I'm from a different generation. There was no washing machine. We did it by
right,
hand with one of
hand
those
washing,
with one of those scrub things in the bathtub, and then you got to wring
yeah,
that sucker out tight. Try doing that with some jeans and see how you build your strength up real quick. So
yep,
yeah, we got taught all that, man, all that, and to walk around and see women talking about I don't cook. What do you mean you don't cook?
and see
You know what I'm saying?
that's
Well, I work hard and I have a job and yada yada. Well, so do I, and I still cook. So how you know what I'm saying? So how do you survive? Well, I order out a lot. Well, first of all, that's sad, and second of all, they sure as hell ain't healthy. That's a fact.
yeah, that's definitely a fact. But what you said shows like they not being taught the way what we were taught,
Hmm.
because we was like you said, we was taught to cook. You know, my mother taught all of us how to cook, and
Hmm.
now it's like who's teaching them? Nobody.
I don't even think it's a question of anybody teaching them. I think it's the fact that they just don't want to learn.
Yeah, that
Because
too.
there's cooking schools. You don't even need a cooking school. Just look, go onto YouTube, pull up Gordon Ramsay, and he teaches everything: how to how to dice, how to cut, what kind of tools, what to cook, how to cook it. The whole nine. So you ain't even got to go to school. If you're on YouTube for 4 hours listening to men streaming, you can take 20 minutes to watch Gordon Ramsay on how to cook.
Yeah,
Just saying. I'm just saying.
yeah. But you know, it starts at a young age too, because when you young, you know, you enjoy cooking with your mother. You enjoy helping her fix meals.
It was
So
a
it's
group
like
thing.
exactly. So it's like what happened to that?
Hmm.
That aspect of life is missing.
Man, that was part
All
of the
right,
fun.
so
Grandma get up, you know what I'm saying, on Thanksgiving or something, and she's baking that pumpkin pie or baking a cake. You hung out in there learning it just so you can get a taste of the icing for free.
Hmm.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So,
Let me get them eggs out the refrigerator. Hand me that. Hand me this. You know, and you learn it. So it's what
mm,
happened to that.
so you
out
guys
the
want
window.
to you guys want to be part of a fun experiment?
Go
Depends.
ahead. What's that?
Okay, so as we were been talking, I just got a text message from my son's mom, and she, quote unquote, "I'm watching you live, best friend." So you guys want to hear what my I was thinking about bringing her up on this panel. You guys want to hear
Do
what it's like to have a kid with this bottom shelf Brad?
do what you do, man. It's your platform. Do what you do.
Well, I know that Lawrence doesn't mess with women, so I didn't want to
What are you
chase
talking
him
about?
off if she was.
What are you talking about? Bring her up?
Yes, my
As long as
son's
she
mom.
does, as long as she doesn't address me, I'm good.
Nah, she's not going to. She's not. She's
Well,
not crazy like
well,
that.
you know me. If she does, I'm just gonna ignore her. So,
Yeah, she's actually she's nice unless you piss her off and have a kid with her, and I know you don't have a kid with her, so you're good.
like I said,
Hey,
man,
they say you
it's your house.
they say you never know a woman until you have a child with them. So
So I told her that she didn't have to cam up because her face ain't together. She's not. You know how women are.
yeah, yeah.
So you're gonna at least hear her voice. Waiting for her to click the link and do all that. But yeah, so we'll get to see what it's like to date a bottom shelf Brad.
Who's Michael Jordan fans are the worst NBA fans?
That's a guy that's in the chat. Like I don't personally know him. He just.
Oh no,
I
he was
know.
asking. He was asking, can any topic be brought up or something like that?
Yeah, sure. Except for I don't want to fight with Michael Jordan about Michael Jordan. I don't watch sports like that, so I'm not. You know.
How do you
Like
go on a
I'm,
program? He just put the link to the stream right above your
yeah.
last entry, Michael Jordan.
So yeah, you click that link and you can come on up. It'll bring you up backstage. Just click the link and follow the instructions.
That's a
What's up?
different name. His name is different. I'm from Chicago, man, so I'm
Yeah,
definitely a Michael Jordan fan, but I ain't gonna go there with him.
you know he made that name because he wants all that heat.
Yeah, he want that heat right there. I ain't gonna give it to him.
Something
Yeah, he
just
was
popped
looking
up
for
that
all
said
this smoke.
Universe Galaxy.
What's up, Bree?
Huh.
Hi. So you were watching the live stream. How much of the live stream did you get to listen to?
Like 2 minutes. As soon as I came on, I texted you because I saw that it was
okay.
live.
Okay, so you didn't hear all the shit I was talking about. You good? Don't go watch the replay. So how's our boy?
Okay. Hear me? I'm whispering because the baby is asleep.
So what's it like dating a bottom shelf Brad?
Hey, can you guys hear me?
You said what it's like dating what?
Yeah, I can. Hold on one second, Universe. We're doing a little interview of my baby mom. So what's it like dating a bottom shelf Brad?
Yeah,
I think she dropped
down.
Damn it.
Well, don't worry, I can continue. Don't worry.
Go ahead, University Galaxy.
Yeah. The guy in the chat room, the one with the name Michael Jordan fans or the worst NBA fans, that was me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I just found your program randomly. I don't know you guys. What I do is I just try to find different programs and go on and bring up subjects. That's why I was asking you, do you take all subjects or is it on certain subjects? So you pretty much take all subjects?
If there's something that you want to talk about, we can definitely touch on it.
Okay, I got 4 subjects for you. If you don't like them, by the way, it's your program. I respect that, so no hard feelings if you don't like any of my subjects. And if you do, I'll help bring up entertaining information for you guys. You know, I'll help the program keep going. So here are my 4 subjects. You tell me if you like any of them. Subject number 1, this one's a sports one. I don't think you'll take it. Michael Jordan fans or the worst NBA fans. Subject number 2, a political one. I've come to the conclusion that Republicans are worse than Democrats. Subject number 3, when you go to a store and you buy meat, cheese, milk, or anything that comes from an animal, you are giving your money to an industry that literally tortures and kills animals. And the last and final subject, and I hope you pick this one because this is the one that a lot of people don't have guts on, but it needs to be brought up. When a guy graduates high school, is he supposed to stop being attracted all of a sudden to girls in high school then? Those are my 4 subjects.
Okay. So let me just touch these real quick. So Michael Jordan, I'm a fan of Michael Jordan. Grew up when Michael Jordan was when he was in his prime. I don't follow sports like that, so I'm not really going to have an argument on who's better, LeBron or anything like that. Republicans, I'm a conservative, so Democrats are the worst. Next, I eat meat, eggs, and cheese, and my sister has chickens, and I love a big old steak. And the last one, yes, when a man turns 18 and he should not have sex with minors.
Okay, so I don't know if you're how much time you give to callers. All the subjects, obviously, we disagree on. Just so you know, don't think I'm trying to brag or boast. I'm not doing that. I actually have a very, very popular page with over 26 million hits. And what I do is I like to find people like yourselves who disagree because it always makes the show more entertaining and informative for the audience. But it's your show, so I respect however you want to do it. Do you want me to get into any of these subjects? Or you want to have a debate on any of these things or all of them?
Well, how about we do this? How about, because I'm going to interview my kid's mom. So can we do like a stream just me and you at some point in the near future, and we can touch all of these subjects and just do nice long debate of all of them, except
It's your
for the
call.
Jordan one, 'cause-
Actually, it's your call, but just one friendly thing, man. And don't think I'm telling you what to do. I'm not trying to be a jerk or anything. Just one friendly thing, because I call in so many programs. I've never understood this. Like, if I had a program and I was trying to build it up and get popular, right? And some guy who has a popular page comes on, and he's not boring, and he's trying to get things going, I would keep it going, man. It'll help. I'm telling you, I'm going to be entertaining and informative. Your audience is going to like it. I'm not going to bore the audience. I'm not saying this because I want money or anything. No, hear me out. No, hear me out. I'm not on video, so I'm not trying to get famous. I'm not getting money from you. I'm not getting anything from this. This is literally for entertainment and information for the audience, so the audience can like it and they can learn things. So, I mean, if you don't think I sound boring and you think I sound fun and interesting and all that, why not keep it going, man? Why stop it?
Well, so I have no problem debating you. Only thing of it is I planned on bringing my kid's mom up, which is up. So if you want to stay on to the panel till after this, I do this little interview with her.
Okay,
you're more than welcome.
I respect.
Because if we get into
I hope no one thinks I was like being arrogant or rude or disrespectful. I wasn't trying to be a jerk.
No.
I'm not bragging or being anything negative.
No, I don't. I'm not taking it that way. The only thing of all those subjects that you're talking about is going to be a vast amount of subject. Like, it's just going to be a long amount of debate or conversation. So that's going to push my kid's mom off, who isn't really going to want to be involved in that.
I understand. Your kid's mother is more important for the program, obviously. I respect that, man. No, but it's up to you, man. Do you want me to wait, or do you want to do it in the future sometime?
We can do both. Whatever one's good for you. I'll come to your page, your program, or you can come to mine. However is good for you.
Okay. Can you give me an idea? Not to rush you. Can you give me an idea how long it might take? You want to spend time with your kid's mom?
My kid's mom will probably only be like 20, 30 minutes. I'm not sure how long she has.
Oh, that's a long time. Yeah. Okay, no problem. To the guy who said, come on, I was just asking to know how long I have to wait. So it's going to be a long time. No problem. So let's do this, man. Your show, I respect that. Let's set it up in the future. I'll just, because I don't want to wait that long, you know? So I'll just set it up in the future. Do you want to send me an email, or how do you want to do it?
Yeah, what's your email?
It's real simple. It's a water.
Okay.
Are you there?
Yeah, water.
At galaxyhit.com. Water at galaxyhit.com. And just so you know, I'm not being a phony or a fraud. You can find me I have more than one YouTube page, but the one you can find easily, just type on YouTube, Michael Jordan fans are the worst NBA fans then.
No problem.
All right, I appreciate you being nice and respectful and giving me time and being kind. I wish a lot of, because I call so many programs, a lot of people can learn from you. Like the way you're conducting your show, I like that, man. You're giving people time and you're being nice.
Yeah, I'm only a dick when I have to be.
Okay. All right, man. So, that's it, I guess. Thank you, man. Stay safe. Good luck to your program. Have a nice time. Have fun.
Thank you.
Thanks, man. Later. Thank you. Welcome.
Hey, Savage, you gotta make sure. I gotta make sure I get the reminder on that one, because I want to hear this one.
No problem. So, Bree, what is it like dating a bottom shelf Brad? And if you don't know what a bottom shelf Brad is, that would be a white man with face tats, a criminal record, that's bald, used to be a heroin addict, and has 2 baby moms.
It was hard in the beginning. But you're my best friend now, whether you think so or not. You can deny it all you want to. But you're my best friend. We getting there. I feel like things are definitely in a better, they're not perfect, but we're in a better space, I want to say, than we were just a few months ago. So, I mean, I don't care that you have face tattoos or that you're white. The hairline thing, I'll forever say that you hat-fished me. But
that's fair. That's fair.
Other than that, you was kind of cute, I guess. I may or may have not been under the influence, but Um, yeah, I really don't care. You know, I'm not picky. You know, I don't feel like I have to have this 10 guy because I'm like a smooth 7, like a 7.5. So I don't know what else to say.
Okay, so what's it?
I would call
So
you bottom tier though. You cool.
that's
You're
just
average.
yeah, I'm average. I know I'm average. That's what they just say on the internet because they're mad and they want to talk shit and they think that'll make me feel some kind of way, but it doesn't. So as a dad, how am I as a father to my son?
Mm. You know, as much as I throw shade, you're not a bad dad.
No, listen. You can totally
According
say. Listen, you can say the truth. Like you don't have to like because you're
no,
on my show that you don't have to like kiss my ass. If I suck at something, just say
no.
it. It's really okay.
I mean, it's a nice butt, but I wouldn't kiss it. You're not a terrible dad. I've seen terrible dads. I work in childcare, so it is freezing up here. I've seen terrible dads. Like I said, me and you don't always see eye to eye, but I can tell like Liam obviously thinks you're a bomb daddy because, of course, when he gets mad at me, he knows to say that he wants his daddy to get under my skin. So he's like, fine, I'm not gonna ever, stay here. I'm going to live with my daddy. I'm like, that's fine. You can go live with your daddy. There's been times where I've been mad at you and it's like, F this dude. He's a horrible daddy. So there's a few times I was mad that, I'm like, bro, I don't know. It's not just you, but I felt like, oh man, I ain't heard from this dude in like 5 days, but he's got like 3 videos up on YouTube. Like I didn't feel like that we should have had to keep calling you. I'm like, this dude, the only time we hear from him is if we call him. But that's when and you said I was stalking you. I wasn't stalking you. I found your photography page and then I found your YouTube page.
Let's be fair,
And
though.
that's
Let's be fair. He's 3 years old and really doesn't hold a conversation on the phone very well.
So
just saying.
You could ask me how he's doing. It don't have to be a long conversation. It could just be a, hey, what's up? How he's doing?
How
hey
he doing?
Man,
What's
daddy miss you. Yeah, hey, daddy miss you. All right, And then that's the gist of it. It doesn't have to be a long conversation. But it's like, 7 days is like a long time.
I work a lot, you know that.
True. But my issue came in when it was like 7 days, and in those 7 days you had up like 3 YouTube videos, and the one you were apologizing because you hadn't been as active. And I was like, oh mother sucker. You just apologized to YouTube and we ain't heard from you in 7 days. So
you can curse.
We have our moments.
It's all right. You can curse. So when it comes
to stop, because I feel like it's bringing negative energy into my life. So I'm trying to slow down on my.
That's fair. That's definitely fair. Yeah. So we live in Cleveland. We live in the east on the east side of Cleveland. So what reaction do you get when you walk around with our son? Like what have you noticed when you're in public?
He gets a lot of compliments. Women and guys. I've actually had more guys than you would think tell me how handsome they think Liam is. I hear you.
That's them just trying to have sex with you. Like that's just what that is.
I don't know. Sometimes I look like a dude and they still compliment him. So unless they're gay.
You haven't asked like the back of a Cadillac. So regardless if you look like a dude or not, you're not hiding that.
Yeah, I guess. But they asked me if he's my son, and I go, yeah. And they're like, really? Like your real son? And I'm like, yeah. No, I just like kidnapped this random kid, and yes, he's my child. He looks like me. He's just lighter than I am. I don't think people can see past that. Me, him, and Taylor look exactly alike. He's just lighter.
So,
because he doesn't look like you.
Are you ever in public and see white people?
So do I see white people?
Correct. Like, are you ever in public and have Liam and you see white people?
Yeah.
Do white people ever stop you and ask you if that's your kid, or say, like, do you ever get any attention for Liam from white people in a negative manner or at all? Like, do you ever get attention?
I see them look, but they don't really say anything. They do the 1-2 look. They they double take and then they go on about. They don't say anything though. They just go on about their day.
So would you say that you get more attention from white people or black people about you having a son that is light-skinned or mixed?
I would say I get the most attention from black women.
Okay. Do these black women sit, like, what do they say? What do they do? Like, where are you at? Like, what are you doing when this happens?
Most of the time it's like Walmart or like the corner store, because we don't really go too many places now. And they'll just like if we stroll past them, they're like, oh, he's so handsome, or he's so cute. And I'm like, thanks. I'm like, and I tell him, say thank you, and he goes, thank you, and then we keep walking.
So do you ever hear comments about how nice his hair is? Do people ever make comments about his hair?
Before I cut it, they did make comments about how pretty his hair was. And now I don't get as many comments about his hair, but he'll say, hey, check out my haircut, and then they'll say something about his hair looking nice. But before we cut his hair, that was one of the things they pointed out. They would say that his hair was nice.
So was that from male or from females?
Both, actually. Of course, more females, but you did get your random guys here and there. Like I told you, the one guy that one of the parents in the daycare was like, oh, she's so pretty. And I'm like, he's my son. And he's like, oh, little homie here dripping. So, outside of that, most people thought he was a girl. So they complimented his hair, and I'm like, no, he's a boy. And they're like, oh, look, he's got so much hair. And I'm like, yeah, he does. So he doesn't get any girl comments now that he's got his hair cut.
So if you had to rate me based on, if you had to give me a like good, poor, or mediocre view as a person, and a good, mediocre view as a father, what would those ratings be? And again, you can be brutally honest. It's okay. You don't have to carry water for me on this platform.
Oh, I'd carry water for you anytime. As a father, like I said, now, that we're seeing eye to eye, not eye to eye, but, we're getting there. I think you'll like me better if I let Liam come live with you. But, we're getting there. As a father, I'd say, like, on a scale of like 1 to 10, like, well, no, you said good, poor.
You can use a 1 to 10 scale too, if that makes you more comfortable.
Okay, 1 to 10, I'd say like a 7, 8, something like that. Yeah, I do see the effort in these past couple months. You finding more time to come and pick him up, even if he's not choosing to stay the night because he's being Liam.
Yeah, because he's overmothered, but I digress.
I do not overmother him.
So I don't need exactly, and you don't have to say if I'm a good person or not person, but I'm just gonna say an average.
Outside of you being my baby daddy, you became my baby daddy the first time we slept together. So
I would say though I'm a better father than I am a person. Correct? Like, is that fair?
Yeah. You as a person, if we didn't have a kid together, as you said,
Correct.
We probably wouldn't be friends.
Correct.
So
that's fair. I totally understand that. But even though that I am literally a bald, racist-looking shitbag, I am a great father, though, right?
You are. He likes
Okay,
you, and I like you because he likes you. So
that's good. See,
yeah,
see,
you got to be doing something right.
yeah, you know. Also, it helps that he knows I'm his dad, so there's that. But
Yeah. Why is
but so do you ever get shit for having a white baby dad?
Mm. You know, my family makes a lot of jokes about you being white. I don't think they like genuinely dislike you. I just think they make jokes about you being white. But if anybody has a problem with me having a white baby father, they've never like actually come to me and said, "Hey, I have a problem that your baby father is white." And it's like, you know, I feel like I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't care if they did, but like nobody's ever like actually come to me and said outright that they have a problem with you being Caucasian. So
Okay. So another question. So you're pretty close to my sister, correct? Like you guys keep in contact?
yes, I like your sister. I think I like
So
her more than you.
that's fair. She's a way better person than I am. So the reason I'm asking you these questions is because a lot of the times on this platform, you have this dichotomy between white people and black people, especially in the manosphere or with women leveling up and stuff like that. There's a lot of racial tension. And the reason I'm asking you these questions is because I want to give, like, because I'm on here all the time talking about having a mixed son and the race thing isn't like that here and stuff like that.
Right.
I want you to give your like, since you are black and you have my son
That I
with
am.
you, and you have our son with you all the time. You're in public with him. Do you see a whole lot of racist white people like bothering you because you have a mixed kid, or praising you because you have a mixed kid, or obviously white people in America are racist, and you talk to my sister and you've met my family and stuff like that? Is my white family blatantly racist, or are they racist, or are white people that are hating on you because you stole one of their white men? Does that happen to you? Like, do you experience any of these things?
No, for like no, like random white people don't like shout angry things at me for having a mixed child. Like I said, I love your sister. She's very nice. In the beginning, I did feel like your mom didn't like me. I couldn't figure out why. I'm like, bruh, she doesn't like me, and I'm not understanding where this tension is like coming from. Because at one point, I felt like it had to be because I was black. So
To be
that's
fair,
that.
my mom doesn't like me, so, and I'm white. So.
Yeah, but it was more so like you know, said person that I really hate to bring up because they're still, I want to tap that behind emotions there. But
You talking about Maddie?
yes, I felt like she accepted her more than she accepted me, and I'm like, it can't be because I had a kid when you met me, because she had a kid. So that couldn't have been it. And it was like she was married and had, I don't know, like I felt like I was a better person. So I couldn't understand where the disconnect was between me and your mother. And I felt like that was the only difference between.
There's one thing that you're not taking into account, okay? The fact that you had a kid with me and she did not. And I don't know if you know this, but my mom never wanted kids by me.
You mean grandkids?
Yeah, she never wanted any kids for me. She didn't want me to make any children at all. So that was her first grandchild. So pretty much she wasn't happy about being a grandma. Like, she specifically told me multiple times not to call her grandma. And also she doesn't like me. So there's that.
Okay, outside of that though.
Yeah, my mom.
Of course, I like your dad was nice to me. Your sister's nice to me. No, I don't get random slack from random. What are you doing? Go to sleep. Bobby. From random white people. They don't hate me for stealing their average face tatted white man.
Correct. Average is the best answer. And yeah. So, is there anything that you want to bring up? Like, do I not take care of my kid? Have I not helped you or helped the kids, or am I just a piece of shit? It's like, am I a piece of shit when it comes to the kids? Is that?
I actually, I actually appreciate you. Whether like I said, I talk trash about you all the time, but it's all in good fun. But you did, I always tell people how you stepped up and you helped me with Taylor, and how you took her on the father walk because her father isn't here. So, you're she likes you. Robin's kids like you, despite how much Robin doesn't like you. So,
Now, why doesn't Robin like me? Is it because I'm white? Is it because I have face tats? Is it what is it about me that she doesn't like? And Robin's her sister, so everyone knows that is her sister.
I'm not absolutely sure. I think it was like the whole when me and you weren't vibing, how you go hard for your sister. So when I was talking shit about you, she's like, she was catching all of it. It's like, that's who I call when I want to, let me tell you about this. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
She was catching all that. So it's like that situation where they say, don't tell your friends about the people you like, your relationship problems, because you're going to like them again, but they won't. So.
Oh, also, just another thing. So when you got pregnant, all right, and you were pregnant, right? Did I ask you to marry me?
You did.
Did you tell me yes or no?
I told you no.
So was I trying to make you an unwed single mother?
Not on purpose, no.
Correct.
You asked to marry me. It's just that's just how it happened. I said no.
I try to do the right thing, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, I will take the blame that we argued and I kicked you out of my house. I will totally take the blame of all that. But
you did. But I can't even get mad because part of me was like kind of waiting for you to kick me out. Because when you was like, you can get the fuck out, I was like, say less. And then, I packed my shit and I bounced. So I wasn't like completely mad that you kicked me out because I felt like I said at that point it was just tension. So I wasn't too upset or heartbroken.
To be honest, to be fair, were you poking the bear? Were you trying to get
was
that
not.
response?
I was not poking the bear. That was all you, and I stand by that. I'm not switching on that at all. That was all you.
Okay, so someone asked why you had a kid with me but didn't marry me. So let me paint a picture for you guys. So me and Bree, we met on a dating website. I didn't drive at the time, so I was definitely a low level. I was so instead of being a bottom shelf Brad, I was a basement Brad. That's how low level I was. I had a job.
Doesn't bother me.
Well, hold on a second. So I was working. I had a job, but because I was a criminal and I had my license suspended so many times, I wasn't legally allowed to drive. And because I was doing stuff the right way at this point in life, I decided not to buy a car and not to drive. So for our first date, she had to pick me up. Correct. She had to pick me up. And then we went to a park.
You tried to have me eaten by
I was
deer.
definitely a simp. I was definitely kind of simping back then. This is before I hit the red pill. The red pill movement. Hold on a second, Bree. I can't hear what you're saying. So then We met on a dating website. We went to a park just to hang out, see what was going on. I tried to get her eaten by a deer. She freaked out because
Yes.
she'd never seen a deer before.
I've seen deer before. I just don't like being that close to deer. He was like 5 feet away from us.
So then, what were you saying?
I said he was like 5 feet away from us. I just don't like being that close to deer. I've seen them before.
Yeah. So Dave, we went to the Garfield Park over there, and we were walking through the path, and deers walked by, and she flipped out. Oh, and just so you guys know, the whole time that we were hanging out that day, she was asking me if I was one of those crazy white dudes that kill women, because she said I was white, and that's what white people do. White people are known for abducting people and killing them. She made those jokes the whole time. So then after that date, we went our separate ways. Okay. And then the first time we ended up having sex, which wasn't the first date, it was after that. I didn't think I could have kids. All right. My sister, until now, could not have children. She couldn't get pregnant. At that point, she had 5 or 6 miscarriages with her husband. And like I had said before, I had been putting my thing in things for my entire sexual career and never had a problem. So we ended up having sex, and everything was normal. And about 10 days later, she told me she was sick to her stomach, and that she had been sick to her stomach for like 3-4 days. And we went to Walmart. I was sponsoring guys and letting guys live in my house that were newly sober because I was working a program. So me, her, and another dude all went to Walmart, and he bought dip. I bought dog bones and pregnancy tests. 2 white dudes and a black woman at about 11:50 at night at Steelyard Walmart in Cleveland, Ohio. The black lady at the counter looked at her, looked at me, looked at him, and then looked at her again. And we decided to tell her that no, those are just for me and her. And then the pregnancy test came back that she was positively pregnant with our son. So that is the story. That is the story right there. Her and her sister were having problems, so I told her to move into my house. It wasn't immediately. It was like maybe a month or 2 of being pregnant. And then I asked her to marry me because I didn't want my son to be born out of wedlock, even though that me and her really didn't know each other. We literally had gotten pregnant the first time that, like, we literally had sex. So we tried to make it work, and I asked her to marry me, and she told me no. So for the record out there, not only was I a simp on a dating website, not only was I a simp and trying to get married, but I was a simp, and I had a baby out of wedlock, and now we have a decent relationship, and I'm a decent dad.
You are a decent dad. I will give you that.
So, Bree, is there any enlightened things or anything that you want to say? Is Liam up?
Is Liam up? I don't know. He was crying because he said Taylor wouldn't share the remote. So he's gonna sleep with me. I'm just gonna peek and see if he's awake.
If he's asleep, don't wake him.
Oh no, he's as soon as I opened the door, he looked dead at me. Say hi to Daddy.
Hi, Daddy.
Hey Liam, what are you doing?
Watching superheroes.
You being good?
Yes.
You want me to come get you this weekend?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hmm.
You miss me? I miss you too, little man.
I like watching superheroes.
You being good for your mom?
Yes.
Good. Did he act up? No. Did he act up at Walmart the other day when you called me?
No, he was cool. He kept asking for his slippers, and I told him that he could not have them because he threw them. I went back and bought them for him because he behaved for like 3 days or 2 days. So I told him if he was good that we could go back and buy him. So he got him because he was behaving. But that day he kept asking for him, and I'm like, no. And then I told him that if he did whine the rest of the day because he wanted the house shoes. Like I said, I told him he threw them across the floor. If you wanted them, you wouldn't have threw them. So you can't have them. You're not about to embarrass me.
Are you still near him?
No, I came back in my room. Oh, my knee hurts.
Hey, can you call for him real quick?
Liam. Normally he don't hear me, but any chance to get out the bed, ears like a bat. Liam. Daddy wants you.
Hey, Liam. Hey, Liam, can you hear me?
Yes.
Do you want this smoke?
No.
Oh, I'm gonna give you the smoke when I see you.
I put that smoke on your hand.
You got smoke for me?
Yes.
You
Well,
get
but
that smoke?
Yes.
well, it's 10:21, bud. You should be in bed. So get back in bed.
You're already in bed.
Hey, Taylor.
Hey, yo.
Well,
He said, "Don't call my daddy a donut."
I love you. I love you guys. I love you guys. Get in bed for your mom.
I walked away. Yeah, they're in the bed. They're I always tell people I don't see how people let their kids be up. They go down when I go down. If I go to bed at 7, the house is shut down at 7. They've been in the bed for about 2 hours now. So
Give them some melatonin. They'll go right to sleep.
they don't work for them. It don't work for them.
Trust me, melatonin works for Liam.
I had some. It was like kids melatonin. He used to want more. He's like, give me some of that medicine. I'm like, bro, first of all, no. That's enough. I want to be able to wake you up in the morning.
That's his daddy in him right there. This one's good. Let me get some more of it. But is there anything that you want to say or anything you want to bring up or talk about before we go?
I want to clear my name on a few things. I seen,
Go ahead.
a few of your videos. I was skipping through them, so I don't know if you cleared it up yourself. One, I'll be having to tell people when they ask me why you the only one on child support. I ain't put you on child support.
Yeah,
I put that out there.
I tell people in the videos that I put myself on child support. I make that clear.
Throw that out there. 2, when you put me out, like I said, I'm standing firm on that was you.
Correct. That was me.
No, I mean not in putting me out. I didn't poke the bear. You started that. You started that day. I tell everybody, I'm like, bro. And my cousin was lying when she said she wasn't on my side. I was sleeping, pregnant, which again is my fault. I was sleeping on the pull-out couch, but uncomfortable. And you woke me from my sleep to tell me that you were upset, but you didn't want to talk about it. And I'm like, bro, you woke me up. We're gonna talk. You woke me up. We gotta talk about it. Because you could have just saved it for later.
I couldn't.
And then
I was that angry.
You woke up a pregnant woman out of her sleep to tell her. You said, what did you say?
To be fair, though, I didn't know that you were sleeping. I was working.
Yeah, I'm like, what? He's like, I don't want to talk about it. I'm like, what the So I was like highly pissed. And when you was like, it's gonna be a problem, I'm like, when isn't there a problem? And then that's when the whole you can get out. And I was like, okay. So yeah.
Anything
that
else
wasn't me
up?
poking the bear. It was like I was asleep and you woke me up, and it was like,
so what you're saying is
uncomfortable.
So what you're saying is, in that situation, I wasn't the bear, you were. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, you poked me and woke me up out of my hibernation, and then told me, never mind, I don't want to talk about it. And in my head, I'm like, this motherfucker just woke me up out my sleep to curse me out and then tell me that I don't want to talk about it when I asked him what was wrong.
Correct.
So and that's in that sense. And then granted, a few days before that, you had came in like slamming cabinets and shit. And I'm like, here he go. So when I said, when don't you have a problem? It was in reference to when you had came in slamming the cabinets and shit. I'm like, bruh.
Oh, quick question. In any of the time of us dating,
Hey,
not
Ash.
dating, in any of the time of us dating or not dating, have I ever whooped your ass or put my hands on you or been physically abusive in any way to you?
You know better than that. We'd have been tussling. I might have lost, but we would have been tussling. Yeah, no, I remember those rumors.
Okay.
Which was weird because it was like I'm the only one apparently that he ain't hit. He been whooping all y'all's asses. He ain't put his hands on me. So either y'all lying or he knew better. What you be trying, you be talking your little slick talks, but you know what it is. You know what it is.
Yeah, I know. You the savage in the streets. I got it.
You feel me?
Is there anything else that you would like to clear up from what you've seen on YouTube?
I'm kidding, guys. I've never been in a fist fight a day in my life. I don't know. I kind of just skimmed through your videos. Like I said, the one lady at the end of your other video, she was driving me crazy. Like I literally wanted to just jump through the phone and just shake her and be like, girl, hush. Nothing you say is making any sense. You know who I'm talking about. I can't.
Correct. STR.
Think of her. Yes.
The
one I saw the frustration in your face. And two, as a woman and a black woman who apparently she was speaking for, it was just like, nah, Shawty, I don't agree with nothing you saying. Like everything's not wrong, but the way she was going about it was just like, you look like a pick-me. Like that's all I'm getting from you. Cause like everything that you disagreed with her saying, she like backtracked. Like she'd say something and you'd be like, no, but it's not that. She's like, no, yeah, you're right. No. It's like either he's right or you think what you think.
So I got a question for you.
Don't backtrack.
What is wrong with being a pick-me?
Because it's like
wouldn't you like to be picked?
Yeah, pick me for me being me and thinking my own thoughts, not me thinking my own thoughts and then seeing that you don't agree with it and then going, oh, no, that's not what I meant. Like if I say I'm not really a fan of, I don't know, random taking the train and you go, no, but I think trains are pretty cool. And I'm like, no, I get it. Yeah, I would take a train. It's like, no, if you don't like trains, you don't fucking like trains. Don't say that you, oh no, I do like trains because now you want him to pick you. Like, of course, everybody wants to be picked by somebody, I guess. Not everybody, but most people. But like, if you think something, think what you think and find somebody who agrees with you. Don't change what you think for this particular person or set of people or I don't know.
Well, what you need to understand is the reason that she was backtracking on what she was saying was because I wasn't putting up with it. And women don't hold a position, like they don't have super strong beliefs on stuff. Women are easily influenced by other people. And because she couldn't push me around with her bullshit is why she backtracked.
Yeah, I was like I told you when she was, we had our discussion on it when you came to pick up Liam. It's like everything she was saying, it just sounded like one, you kept telling her it was not a black-white thing, it was a man-woman thing. And she just wanted to keep taking it back to a black-white thing. And then it was more so of the vibe it gave me was how you have those women who turn to women because they've been brokenhearted by the guys that they've chose. I felt like she liked white men because of her experience with the black guys that she dated. Because she never once said anything about Hispanics or Asians or Middle Eastern men. It was like straight forget black men, go with the white man, date outside your race, white man. Like, there's other people outside of our race, like Hispanics and Asians. I feel like she was doing that because she feels like with most, it's a common thing. See, I don't want to word this wrong, that it would get under the skin of some black men, the comment she was making about white men. Like, everything she was saying was to try to irritate black men. Because she wasn't listening to anything you were saying. She was like basically talking to herself.
Well, she was intentionally saying stuff about black men and white men to get under black men's skin. That was the whole point of it.
Yeah. And you kept telling her, like, it's all men. I'm advocating for all men. She's like, no, you don't have to stick up for black men. You're like, I'm not. It's all men. She's like, yeah, because black men is like, bruh. Like, oh man, that one, I couldn't watch the whole thing. Like, I kept skimming through it, trying to find a point where she made sense, and she didn't. But a lot of your content is, like I said, when you were talking about me, of course, it upset me. Some of it, we talked about that. But anything outside of me, it's actually very entertaining. I agree with you sometimes. Obviously not on all points because I'm a woman. So I do jump on defense like, hold up. I feel like you talk about me. But,
It's because women have a hive mind, correct? You all have feel
what?
like a hive mind? You feel like you have to cape for each other?
Oh, yeah.
There's a sisterhood. If you feel that the power of the sisterhood is being deteriorated, you have to jump out and protect it.
Got to.
Okay.
Yeah, no. Some things I can agree with. Like I said, other things, it's natural to, it's not that bad. Change the channel.
Well, thank you for coming up here and clearing up some of the a lot of the stuff that's said in my comment section. The videos that are made about me have to do with I abuse black women and I hate black women and I'm a racist and I'm a bombshell brat and I'm a shitty dad and don't care about my kid. So thank you for coming up here and telling people your experience of having a son with me.
No problem. I'm gonna continue to watch it live and make sure you don't talk shit about me when I leave.
Of course.
I don't know how to leave though.
So when you take your phone, it's gonna say up in the left corner done. You hit the done button and it'll kick you out of StreamYard.
I don't see a done button. I don't like on my screen. Hold on. There's you and like three other boxes.
I can kick you. Here, I'll kick you from the studio.
Just kick me out.
I'll kick you out. So, guys. Like I was saying before, obviously, when it comes to a race thing, with my son, it's mainly one-sided. It's one side. Mr.
Yes, it sounds like it's like you said, it's coming from women. That's what it sounds like to me. Like it's mainly coming from black women, and like I said, I feel like that's just more of a shot towards her. It's more of a. It's not like I don't see it as hating the fact that she had a child with a white man. I just feel like it's a shot at her. You know what I'm saying? It's like a cheap shot. I don't see the racism in that, like the race component in that. I just see like maybe jealousy and just taking a shot. Because it's not like we don't live in a world where we know it's other people in this world, other races, and we know that it happens. I mean, it's not uncommon. So I don't see it like that.
No, the only reason I bring it up is because and a lot of times you hear about the colorism situation. It's, well, white mixed people are more accepted than black people. The darker your skin is, the less accepted you are, that stuff. So I just wanted to bring her on to get rid of some of the comments about how I abuse my son's mom and I hate black women. 2, that I'm a piece of shit dad, and 3, that when it comes to the race issue, it's mainly coming from black folks to her. I don't get it from white folks, and I don't get it from black folks when I have my son. I don't know if it's because I have a penis. I don't know if it's because I have face tattoos. I just got out of prison. I'm not exactly sure what exactly is the difference, but she does get it. I don't at all.
But like you said, it's coming from women, so that's the difference. It's a gender thing. It's not, the colorism and the race thing. That's more of just an excuse to take a shot. That's the way I see that.
You're just not cool enough like me.
So,
is Princess M still in the chat? I don't see her. I don't see her posting anymore. But so is there anything you guys want to wrap this up with? Because it is 10:36 and I've got to get to bed shortly.
I'm good. I mean, you did your interview and stuff. I got nothing to say.
yeah, I ain't got much to say. I need to go to bed myself. Gotta work in the morning.
Yeah, I gotta be at work at 7.
All right, man. Well, it was good. Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, Savage, man.
Mr. Bad Guy, you're more than welcome to come over here anytime that you want. Lawrence, you know that you're always welcome over here. The Universe Galaxy, I have to go to sleep for work. Me talking to my kid's mom actually went longer than I thought it was going to go. But I'm going to email you before I lay down, and we can set up a time to do an interview, and we'll go through all of the things that you want to go through. But it's 10:37 here, and I haven't ate yet, and I gotta shower, get ready for work in the morning because I have to be there at 7. I gotta get up at 5. But thank everyone for being here. Thank you guys. If you could do me a favor and hit the like button on your way out. If you're not subscribed, do me a favor and subscribe. I'm going to actually take this and download it and cut out the interview with my kid's mom and post it. But as always, guys, I appreciate you guys' support. Stay savage.
All right.